that's where, you know, the better climbers will be advantaged. But again, you know, everybody is suffering here, and there's been a real killer of a day for all. So it depends who's got the legs to be able to split it and get into the breakaway.
Healy has another kick. My goodness. If you're on the receiving end of this, if you're trying to keep up with him, it's a hellish task. Don't worry, we haven't gone back to the beginning of the day. Ben Healy trying to just extricate himself from a sizable group with none other than the man on his shoulder here, Wout van Aert, who's chasing him down. Geske's had a few goes here. There's a few others that would like something out of this day. If you
Sorry,
stuck
Carlton,
with the GC, man. Yeah, go on.
Yeah, one quick on, sorry, because you can't see me on our video chat at the moment. Marc Soler, he's marking everything. Why on earth he's bothering to chase these groups quite like this? Because it resets it, then there's another launch. He does it again, they go again, and Ben Healy, well, for sure, he's not finished. But the way Marc Soler is riding now, trying to police moves and jumping after guys who make zero difference to the GC, I don't know why he was bothering doing it.
Can't help himself.
Well, it's an interesting one, but again, you know, we have that group up the road. Benoit is up there, so maybe they're just concerned about that Visma Lease bike. You know, leave another rider get into the breakaway. You talked about, Robbie, that satellite rider, so maybe they're a little bit concerned about that. One, okay, but certainly not two. But yeah, Soler, it's an interesting one that he's just marking down when there are only, you know, 2 riders going was in front of him. If there's a group of 8 or 10 riders, that's where it becomes dangerous, because then it becomes, you know, a powerful group, and it could actually get out of the peloton.
I'll tell you what it's done. It's really strung out this group. It had come together. If they thought they were going to get any respite, think again. But it's only 52 seconds, and wind report now only 7 kilometres per hour. It was blowing up to 30 at the beginning of the day, Robbie. It's calmed down in that regard.
Yeah, that was the forecast, that as they approach halfway, or even after 30 kilometres, it was due to just settle a bit as they came into this, what essentially was an incredibly long valley, always dragging up. That took any crosswind out of the equation, and as we get towards these final climbs of the stage, it won't be the wind that's the factor, it's the gradients. And already these, you can call them gentle gradients. It's just the absolute speed at which they've been riding up them, which is doing all the damage. This group now, they're just edging their way further in front, second by second. Those attacks coming out of the peloton is sort of 2 steps forward, then 3 steps back. So they're big accelerations, but then they swing across the road, and this group just keeps that steady tempo, edging out towards a minute. 73 kilometres to go. They'll be really hoping that all this work they've done now adds up to a peloton exhausted, but it's not sitting up, so it's just not happening for them.
Exactly. I'm actually wondering whether once we get through this intermediate sprint, Sean, there might be a little bit of settling, because some of the sprinters' teams actually might not be part of the drive to close the gap.
Well,
or indeed put the pressure on each other.
It will be interesting to see as we get to the sprint point. Will we get to the sprint point, you know, with just 4 up the road, or will we see another group forming to get away? The way it's going, you know, you can see they're really slowing down the peloton, and there is riders going to attack out of the peloton once they get that opportunity. We see Rui Costa there from EF Education, Easy Post, having a go there when it slowed down. And when we get to the intermediate sprint points, I'm not sure will it really slow down at all. And these guys here, you know, they need a lot more to go into this final, and unless there's a real slow down the peloton, well, I'm afraid it might be another one where we'll see Break not managing to get enough of an advantage and being swallowed up in the final again.
It's still kicking along, isn't it? They're a little split, like a big group going off the front here. Carapaz has been trying, continuing along with his teammate Ben Healy. But whatever points are left on offer at the intermediate sprint, it's almost a guarantee that Philipsen and Gourmet will go for that sprint, mop up the rest of the points, but that also creates a really good launch pad for any would-be attackers. Follow the wheels in. As soon as the sprinters have done their thing and sit up, you just out of the slipstream, keep it going, and hope you can ride yourself into a counter-attacking move.
Almost a metaphorical Madison handsling for those who would get up the roads. Yeah, let's see if it develops. Some certainly will. I think there'll be more action from those who hope to get something out of the day beyond the sprint point. Until then, we've got quite a few personnel who are looking for those intermediate points. Today, the intermediate sprint is of use to us. Yesterday, kind of less so. I think it was all about the finale. Couldn't be more different today. 52 seconds. Yeah, they were well within range of each other. We still don't know. There's Biniam Gamay on the back wheel, getting a tow here from Jesper Philipsen. Checks over his shoulder, knows Gamay is there. That must be bad news for him.
Yeah, so as Walt Poole's trying to go across to that group, and Philipsen I'll just nick along with this one and see if I can spring a surprise, but
alert.
Invisible tow rope between the two.
But the interesting one there was that Jorgensen from Visma Lease Bike.
I think it was Lemon.
Is it Lemon? Yes. So we can see there that Visma Lease Bike still very active. They want to keep this going here and make it difficult. And I think that this is the plan. This is a stage where normally for a team would be very difficult to make it difficult, but the way everybody is racing and they're just full-on racing from so many riders, so many teams, is making it a real difficult one and a difficult stage. And that's what maybe Visma Lease Bike want. They feel maybe Pogacar will pay as we go into the late in the week, the difficult alpine stages.
Well, they're certainly throwing everything at it, Visma Lease Bike. It sort of looks to me that they're starting to run out of ideas.
Well, they've tried everything, Robbie. That's the point, isn't it? I mean, what else do you chuck at it?
Well, just anything you got.
Yeah.
You grab a handful of fresh air in the end and chuck that at it.
If it were.
Would that help?
Well, if you put it in a balloon
it's the
and
only
release
thing
it,
you
you
got.
never know. If that's all that's left.
When you're empty-handed and you throw it at it anyway, he goes, Walt Poole's again.
Yeah, he can't help himself. In fact, I'm glad he's waking up, Sean. I don't know whether he's been a little bit ill, but he's had a quieter race than I thought. Some of the stages within this tour would have had him written all over it in the past.
Yes, well, last year we see he got his stage. I don't think he was really active. I'm not sure. But again, he is a cute one here. He can follow. And over this sort of terrain as well, the way it was raced in the earlier part, he'd not like this. He, more lumpier stuff, climbs of maybe 3 or 4 kilometres in the start. That would be the perfect one for him to get into the breakaway. But he feels, everything is slowing down now and try and get out of the peloton here. But yeah, he's not into the terrain where he can really excel for the moment. It's after the intermediate sprint point.
Did you see Philipsen haranguing?
Yeah, well, he went and immediately had a rider from Intermarché in his wheel with Biniam Gamay behind that. Sort of waved at him. I don't know what on earth he could possibly be surprised or irritated about, because that just comes with the territory. It's the expectation. Rui Costa down the right-hand side now, trying to join Walt Poole's.
Yeah, the Portuguese champion just making his move. Adam Yates. Now, the word was he wasn't feeling very well yesterday. Still rode like a demon, and indeed has done. He looks rather... He's got a pallor about him, Sean. That's never a good sign.
Well, it's an interesting one. He's coming back through the cars here. He doesn't have any fresh bottles, so that is an interesting one. Keep an eye on it there. Yes, maybe to the doctor's car, but yeah, it's not a day where you not want to be feeling well, because the way they have been racing here, this is just real crazy stuff. And the way they're attacking here, when you look at this peloton, it looks like a junior race, the way they're all over the road and attacking and slowing down totally. And this is proven to be a very, very demanding day for all.
Well, Simon Yates trying to go across and join that move as well. Carapaz again.
Just wondering who it was from Alpecin who's just gone up on the left-hand side.
Laurence, I think.
Didn't quite catch it, but I think the lack of response from Biniam Gamay indeed underscores that thought. There's Lapera.
Paul Lapera flicks his elbow and gets a shake of the head from behind.
Gotta be kidding.
I think it was his teammate.
Well, the blue tash is up here at the head of the course. As you can see, Bob Youngles, Gregoire, Magnus Court. Got himself 200,000 followers on social media, and so dyed his moustache blue as promised. Apparently it only took about an hour for him to achieve his target, but he's been waiting for the rest day to get the hair dye out. Not a colour Sean's ever gone for, I must admit. Well, we've gone for art shots because everyone needs a rest, it seems. My goodness, what a dramatic day we've had, Robbie. It's been just relentless from the very, very start. It couldn't be more different from yesterday, could it?
Well, every hotel ice machine has been emptied this morning, I think, by the teams. And filling up the stockings, and they've been shoved down the back of the jersey. You just saw Bob Youngles take on at least half a kilo of ice to put down the back of his neck and let that melt away to try and keep the system cool. For all the effort, it's been fairly unrewarding to only have 1 minute and 6 so far. But the good news is the gap is going in the right direction. As it then ticks down again.
Yes, for the third or fourth time, Robbie, we've said that, and you know, the moment it just up and the pace. And the problem is, you know, we're getting into this terrain. The effort the four have made out front. You know, there is some riders in here, I think, you know, will be more an advantage when we get into the lumpier part. And you know, we're getting into that 67 to go, so we're getting into the real difficult terrain, and the advantage 103. Yeah, it's not what they wanted. They would have, you know, expected to get 4 or 5 minutes to breakaway, but because of being so aggressive, it ain't happening.
And only 4.5 kilometres to the sprint now.
I feel very, very sorry for the quartet up front. They've worked so incredibly hard to just maintain, or indeed to develop a gap. It's now only 1 minute and 5, as you quite rightly say. And still, if it wasn't for the pesky EF Education Easy Post and their constant desire to actually eat into this gap. Is this Carapaz?
Yes.
And where is he going?
Forwards.
To try and bridge the lonely souls up front. He wants to join the party.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. You're not going to walk into that party on your own. You're going to need to take 3 or 4 other guests with you.
Yes, well, that's true. He needs to have, you know, a number of riders with him, 4 or 5 others, and yeah, you can see there they're going to be reaction immediately out of the teams that, you know, really want to get into the breakaway. And you know, we know and they know that this can go at any time. And Carapaz going out there on your own after what you've been through this morning, you know, this effort, you know, for a little bit, it just all pays in the end. And we've seen that, you know, so many times in the end of the stage as well. And this difficult stage, it's going to be important that you conserve any little bit at all times.
Here we go, 3 kilometres to the sprint. Carapaz move, a strange one, because the gap to him from the pack is likely to be compressed by the sprinters who get themselves up for this. 4 up the road, 1 minute and 5 after they pass through the intermediate sprint. Possibly a little bit less than that, because there'll be a pace change behind here if Phillipson wants something out of it. Gamay, bottom of your screen, hasn't responded just yet, and this serves Gamay very well indeed, Robbie, if a whole load of riders go and snaffle these points.
It does. And I mean, to be honest, the chances of Phillipson taking green off Gourmet purely on points and these intermediate sprints is incredibly low. 32 points is a very healthy advantage with what's left on offer. And whether they're sprinting for 5th or they're sprinting for 14th and 15th, I think the result's going to be a 1-point swing either way, depending on who's quicker at the line.
I think that was the frustration that Phillipson was showing earlier on. There was no way he was going to extricate himself from Gamay or his teammates. And in fact, they're on the blower, as you can see. Almost job well done for them. They come through the 3 kilometre to go marker. A minute up the road is the 4 riders who'll take the major points, 20, 17, 15 and 11. And there we are, look together. Yeah, exactly. Sean, they are on tow ropes, aren't they, here?
Yes, well, this is where it gets complicated. And, you know, for Gourmet, it's always concerning. If you can have a group go away, take all the points, well, that's an easier situation. Where here, you know, there's riders, you can get chopped out a bit, get, you know, closed in. And, yeah, you could lose a number of places to the man that he cannot afford to do that, Phillipson. So, again, it's becoming a difficult one. The uphill, as we said, that should suit Gourmet, and we will see now pretty quickly if he's suffering from the effects of yesterday's fall.
I think you want to make a good showing, even if it's only head-to-head against Phillipson here, Robbie.
Yeah, I think it'd just be a good psychological blow.
Yeah,
if
exactly.
Binny can beat Jasper, then he'd say, well, how about we just don't do this anymore for the rest of this tour and we just make sure we get to Nice. And again, I think Jasper, he's got to just do everything he can. I just don't think there's any way it can really be enough unless there's something catastrophic for Gourmet, even worse than his crash yesterday.
Well, it was pretty cruel yesterday, pretty cruel today, I should say, having the intermediate sprint so deep into the stage. Tomorrow it comes early, so that'll be quite lively. But after that, honestly, I don't expect to see either of them in the middle of stage 20 between the high peaks, duking it out for any of those points.
You know, normally it wouldn't have been cruel having it 114 kilometres into the stage like today, because you'd assume oh, there'll be a big breakaway.
Yeah,
They'll take
exactly.
all the points. There'll be nothing for us to do. But the racing has just been so ridiculously aggressive that we've got a fairly compact race this far in. And they've now basically, breakaway artists have run out of time to build a reasonable gap to think they can hang on through this final 40 kilometres, which has some 1,500, 1,600 metres of vertical gain.
"63 kilometres to go." Yeah, I've been reminded I'm getting ahead of myself. Middle of the climbs tomorrow, but kind of rolling hills. We've got category 3s. Then, of course, the early one on stage 19. And then the one I was referring to in Collier, thanks to Doug. We have 1:01 is the gap. 63 kilometres from home. These quartet will roll through, and then we look back and see indeed what kind of skirmish we've got for this intermediate sprint. Here it comes. We'll stay with them. This is of very little consequence, but what's going on behind is very busy. And there you are, as expected, Jesper Philipsen with Biniam Girmay on his back wheel, and everyone else skirmishing, including Brian Kokar, which is always nice to see. Now, Biddy's teammates are going to try and get up and snaffle some points themselves, are they? They're going to run out of road by the looks of things. Biddy doing a job himself. Now, he likes a rise here. This is brilliant. This is exactly what we need. What a riposte. Biniam Girmay, who was down on the road yesterday, imposing himself emphatically here. It may well be only in a psychological sense, only a point between the pair of them at this intermediate sprint. But Sean Kelly, we can take a lot of, Binny can take a lot of calm from that, I think. And look at what it's taken out of him, the emotions pouring out of him, Sean.
Yes, well, it did take a big effort just to get to this point. You know, they had to really battle to stay in the front end of the race. We can see Philipsen there getting the perfect lead out, you know, kicking his sprint at the time he likes to do it, but Girmay coming the stronger one and winning there. And yeah, he's going to take another point of an advantage. And looking at the, you know, the stages, intermediate sprints to come, it is going to be a confidence boost for the green jersey.
Gosh, that was a statement, Robbie.
That is the most significant 1 point that Biniam Girmay has scored in this Tour de France. That just, I think, signs, seals and delivers as far as the green jersey is concerned. An extra point. The gap was already big. It was going to, even if it had gone the other way, I still wasn't a believer that Philipsen could take it with the very few opportunities that remain. But that sprint by Binny was spot on. I think the other thing too, and I like to see it, that Philipsen, he had the right-hand side of the road, but he wasn't launched close enough to the edge, close enough to the barriers to keep that side shut. But he didn't try and shut Binny down. It was a very fair head-to-head sprint. And as we've seen throughout this tour, those uphill kicks have been the domain of Binny and Girmay. So I'll be surprised if there's much more persistence when it comes to the intermediate sprints.
I don't know if he's feeling good, you know. Tomorrow, I was reminded that we have...
Does this work? Hello, Lady Siren. What up, girl? How are you?
Sprint. It's dead centre of 180 kilometres, however. Today, rather cruel to have it posted so late. But hey, it comes early on stage 19. There are points out there, but
thank you.
As Robbie said, I think that was rather important.
Thank you very much. It's very quiet on me.
What are we
I appreciate it.
Looks
Thank
like
you.
A listening post.
You've just Jonathaned me. It's like being spoken to by my parents. This is the largest astronomical project on European soil. An array of antennae, 15 meters in diameter. They can extend over distances of up to 1.7 kilometers. It's managed by IRAM.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. How are you today? How's things? You're on... Who's this, Kick? You're on Kick? You're on Kick.
The formation and evolution of the galaxy, stars, planets, and the building blocks of life. So just probing out into alien territory rather than the other way around.
I guess it's a metaphor for our breakaway. Goodness me. 41 seconds only, Sean, because of the pace up within the peloton and that intermediate sprint. They've got to build it again. When do they get fed up?
Well,
let's just deal with this first, shall we?
50k ago.
Magnus Cork, Gregoire Belut, Jungels, Binim Gamay taking 11 points, but Jesper Philipsen taking the 10. Sorry, Sean, you were saying.
Yes, well, we've seen that these guys have really worked hard, but because of the actual
VO2 max workout. All right. I'm gonna assume you're on Zwift.
Cases, just everybody involved, and they just keep on attacking. The pace is kept high, and we can see here it's continuing on here.
Gotta love that VO2 max.
And because of that, this advantage
it's a little high
for the 4 men, and now we're getting into the difficult part of it, where this advantage is not going to be enough unless they another group come across, and then they can
Trainer Road. Okay, cool.
Welcome back, everybody. We're going to be.
I heard there was integration with Zwift, so
live on the back of the bike with Adam Blythe.
It's good for both.
When you look at the formulation of today, what is the formula? Well, it's almost like a cocktail, isn't it? Stick it in there, shake it up, see what happens.
Are you
Adam, you're with us live. Great
what's
to have you.
what's your FTP?
Just how are you reading it? I mean, it's been bizarre today in terms of its skirmish all the time.
Well, it's just you gotta subscribe for both. So if you subscribe for both, then.
I'm sure you'll hear this interview I did with them in a minute.
But I heard it's pretty good.
They looked at that as being kilometre zero for today. So when they get past that sprint point, the race starts again. So this is where it's really going to open up. It's flat now, and then we start getting into the hill. So it's a good opportunity for the climbers more than anything to try and get into a move. But equally, on these flatter sections, makes it harder for them to do so. The big, powerful guys are able to get in the brakes on these sections easier than the climbers. So it's going to be another fight, and still the race goes uphill, I feel.
Yeah, it is. But I mean, if you're using it, then
we saw Philipsen having more than a
it's
chat
worth it.
with Binim Gamay. There
In
were
a
arms
sense.
all over the place when he just failed to get any kind of
160,
gap on him
awesome.
before the intermediate sprint. They've come through. What's I don't know if you spotted the demeanour of Philipsen after that, but we reckon that was quite a pivotal moment for Biniam.
Do you do a lot of cycling?
He's just showing what he's made of, Carlton. I can't really see much where I am now. I'm about, what car's that just gone past?
You're on
car
Kick,
11
so
right now next to Direct Energy. So we
not
don't
too
really
many people
see a
watch
lot
cycling
from where
on
we are
Kick.
right
That's
now,
for
so
that's for
but
sure.
even hearing about it, if you're showing you how strong you are there against Philipsen when you crashed the day before, it's sort of like, I'm still here to fight, so bring it. It's a big psychological blow to him. Not a blow, but just to show how tough he is.
Yeah, Adam, we've seen really aggressive riding from Visma Lisa bike guys in the break with Benoit, the counter-attacking moves, Laporte, Fanart, etc. But on the other side, it looks like they're trying to bring UAE undone, expose Tadej Pogacar. What are you seeing towards the back of that main group in terms of suffering of team helpers of Tadej Pogacar, where he could be isolated?
There's been a lot of suffering. I don't
Okay,
know
so
with
you
UAE,
stream on
Tadej
Kick.
Pogacar is the
That's
rider,
cool.
As we all know, he likes to get stuck in. He likes to be at the pointy end. He doesn't always rely on his team. We've seen that on a couple of stages already. There has been riders that look like they're suffering, the likes of Tim Wellens, the likes of Marc Soler, but that's from this view. I hear the
I mean,
commentary.
2 to 3 rides a week plus outdoor rides. That's good.
Moves down, chasing them down. That says to me they want to control things. That makes it. They want to make it easier for those riders within there. So there's been a lot of
Do you live in like really hilly areas, or are you able to
today.
kind
It's
of
one of those days, Robbie,
hit
you'll
flat
remember it
spots
well,
and
where you just cannot ease off the pedals. There's no respite. There's no ease up in the peloton. When you think it's eased up, there's another attack
be
that
able
goes
to
off
find
the front. It has just been relentless.
good
Thank you,
zone 2
Adam.
rides?
Voice of Adam Blythe, who's on the motorcycle for us in this final week on a run to Nice. Seconds is the gap. Kilometre zero. It might
shit,
well
it's
be,
connected
but
to my
I've still
phone.
no idea who's going to win today.
Well, did you see the length of that peloton in that last shot?
Currently
Just the way
streaming
that
on
the attacking is just stretching
Twitch,
things
Kick,
out.
and
It
YouTube.
is agony for the riders who they're just hanging on for
Nobody
their
watches.
existence in this Tour de France.
I just
And
use
I
it
think there'll
for
be some who'll be quite happy when they can get to 40 kilometers
For myself,
to go
really.
and call out that very well-known word.
Kind of watch the
peloton,
progress.
gruppetto,
Go
and sit
back.
up and just
It's easier to
make
see
their
kind
way
of
to the
changes.
finish and just do
It's
it
like taking a
inside the
picture
time
every
cut,
day.
because it's a day where if you've been dropped, you are
Yeah,
gonna be
nobody
out of
watches,
this
so.
tournament. We've seen a number of abandons already, mostly the sprinters, but it just continues. Wout van Aert going across to another group.
But that's all
So
right.
it just looks like they're trying to take this race by the scruff of the neck, make it as hard as possible. Oh, Wout van Aert just missing a bit on, so that's making it as hard for himself as he possibly can. A hot day like today and missing drinks is less than
YouTube
ideal.
is great
Sure,
to
this is like the start of the race, not with just 55
archive all your
kilometres
stuff.
of, the big total
A lot of people
today
like to
of
watch live
178.
on Kick
It's unending.
or Twitch.
Well, we've heard from Adam that
And
this
then
is
they'll go
kilometre
watch
zero for a lot
archives
of
on
riders
YouTube,
and
so
teams, and it certainly is. You can
it's
see
great using
again,
all of it.
you know, it's more action here.
Good little
It's getting
ecosystem.
into the terrain where a lot will feel a bigger opportunity to form a breakaway, and you can see the gaps are opening here. This is going to be a complicated one for Yellow Jersey with his team. Who is going the moves? That way he has to be really careful and just keep an eye on what's happening out front. But for Pogacar, if he can keep the guys
Do you
in
get
the GC standings, you know,
you get people
the
watching or
3
what?
or 4 under him. Almeida, of course, he's in 4th position, but Evenepoel, Vingegaard,
I mean, there's no
Landa, for
Mywhoosh
example,
section, so
Rodriguez,
I just
those
do it
are
under
the guys he
Zwift.
has to watch. And if one of them goes, the GC guys just behind or in front of them, they start chasing as well. So you have to be able to play that card and, you know,
Thanks.
use
Yeah,
your
I mean,
tactics
it's
very well here, because this is, you know, very
it's fun,
energy
but it's
sapping.
work.
You must remember the end of the stage is always going to be difficult as well. So you have to keep as much energy in reserve as possible.
We have a downhill run around Gap coming up for you reasonably soon, and that is the introduction to the remainder of the day.
It's
And that's
cool.
where
It's
the
nice having
character
people
of
to
the race will change entirely. I know it's been brutal so
distract
far.
you from what's
The
going on.
pace will indeed come down as we start to climb Col Bayard, and indeed the Col de Noya and de la Voie as well.
I
At the
don't
end
know
of
what
the
this
day,
power
Robbie,
is at. It's got to be at leak.
it has been punishing,
300-400?
but there is yet more to come because there's an entire change in terrain.
And what an entire change in the situation too. There's almost half a peloton off the front, and I just spotted Geraint Thomas getting amongst it as well. So he was part of that group right towards the front of the group. It's one of the main aggressors that's up the road. It's a massive group that's ridden away. The problem they now have, it's 4 kilometres
Oh,
on
a little too high.
this flat or false flat until they hit a 5k descent, and then they're at the foot of the category 2 climb, the first big climb of the day, 7 kilometres at 7%. They haven't given themselves a lot of time to pull themselves away from the peloton and create a really good workable gap before they get to these major climbs, where we then probably expect to see the real climbing domestiques come to the fore and start setting a pace. Adam Blythe is
Wearing
with
headphones with no
Andreas
music
Clear
coming
back
out.
in the convoy. Let's hear what
I'm
he
going to
has
have to
to
pause
say.
this.
Okay, I'm here next to the EF car. Andreas Clear at the wheel. Andreas, is this stage been how you expected it to be?
To be honest, yes, we expected the race first 30 with side wind. We expected from 32 the sprint, a race for the Jersey, a green one. And we expect it now being kilometer 0. So we tried to keep things close to the front group and then hope for the best legs for Richie.
You think Richie can keep up today with the big GC boys?
No, but I also don't think that this
You've been
is
cycling for a
gonna
long
happen.
time, or?
So we hope that people outside top
Oh.
10, good cyclists, good climbers, will move. That's our hope.
And we've seen Ben Healy helping Richard Carapaz already. Is he going to help him now to get in the breakaway? Would you need 2 riders in there or just 1?
I mean, we don't want to dance on 2 weddings, right? There's a tomorrow, and Ben is ready for that. We hope.
Good luck. Thank you.
Tomorrow does indeed look more like a Ben Healy kind of day. Barcelonet's destination.
Yeah, really?
Test along 100
Well, thank you.
kilometers, the longest day.
That I really appreciate.
2 kilometers shy of that today, actually.
I'm usually a little
This, though, with
introverted, so
56
I don't
seconds.
really
Robbie, that big
advertise.
group that
My
rode off
power's
about
not
to
moving.
Re-merged again. It still can't settle.
Yeah, it was like the group was just too big to get away.
Yeah.
A lot of marking and then just sitting in the wheels waiting for someone else to do the work. Just back to that interview with Andreas Clear from Education First. The problem I saw with that tactic saying, you know, get to the sprint. And that's
Yeah, I mean, I
kilometre
do a lot of
zero.
different things
Well,
with
that would
streaming.
mean that Ben Healy and Richard Carapaz have attacked a dozen times each in the neutral.
43 riders we're hearing in that second group, and it doesn't include the favourites. Best placed within it.
A lot of different interests, so I kind of,
probably too
I don't know,
big,
would like
I
to
imagine,
keep doing
be
it a little
allowed
bit
to
more and more.
succeed, but it's got a minute at the moment on the jerseys, Robbie.
Well, it actually
Cycling
has
is just
gone up the road. The likes of Laporte, Van Aert, Sivakov, Soler, Jules
something I
Jensen,
do to really
Besnitz,
challenge my,
Lawrence de Plus and Geraint
just
Thomas,
challenge myself.
Julien Bernard, Gibbons, Tom Scoins, Jasper Stuyvesant, 4 riders from Lidl Trek, Amaret and Godon from Decathlon, Jack Haig, Mohoric, Walt Pools from Bahrain Victorious, Jan Hurt, the climbing domestique, or one of them, alongside Landa.
And I can be pretty
from
competitive,
Red
so
Liverpool's team, Nico Dens, Marco Haller. Then we've got David Godou, Stefan Kung, Valentin Madouas and Quentin Pacher, and Clement Rousseau. So a big representation from Groupama. Carapaz is in there.
but yeah, not many people watch.
Yeah, he's isolated.
Not too many people watch cycling
Van
stuff.
Hoek, we have Steve Williams as well, which is great for the
Which
end
is
of
okay.
today, possibly. Maybe he will come out of his shell. Guillaume Martin, Enric Mas is up here for Movistar. Again, on his own by the looks of things. Vauquelin once more, who won stage 2 with Garcia and Rodriguez. Louis Meintjes, who was
the suffering part.
splits, has now got himself into a good one. And look at
Never
the way
gets
the
easier,
peloton
just
has
go
allowed it
faster.
to go. Best placed of the riders in that group is Lawrence de Plus, I think, at 38 minutes. Just looking at, thereabouts. Guillaume Martin, similar kind of margin, 37 minutes deficit for Steph Kras. So finally, it looks like we won't.
Yeah, I've been
see
enjoying
a
Mywhoosh.
battle, but let's wait.
It's
for
free,
before
so
we get to the mountains.
I can't
before
really
we
complain
declare
about
it,
that.
but that's a strong group.
Yes, it is a big group, and it's going to be an interesting one. You know, will it be allowed?
And I
will
get
it be a team
the same
who,
amount of workout.
Want to, you know, keep a tab on it, maybe close
So
it
I
down.
kinda-
We will see pretty quickly, but it's definitely knocked off.
I do miss Swift a little bit, but mostly
Sean,
the
a
community
supergroup.
rides. And
Do we now believe that there's going to be
events.
2 battles today?
Well, I think we have to wait a little bit longer to see what the peloton will do here. For the moment, you know, it's.
I mean, it's the same
it's a one
difference.
where there's a lot of riders
Mywhoosh,
you know, really suffered on this stage at this point in the race.
It's just
and
not so
there'll be a
popular.
little bit of, you know, calming
But it
down
works
for a
just as
while
well.
and then see what the
A
situation
lot of the
is.
workout plans are
Goodness me.
comparable.
Absolutely breathless, Robbie. And at least now it seems that there's an accord of sorts.
Yeah, of
I'm not
sorts,
too
but I
happy
mean,
with
minute 20 between the yellow jersey group containing the main favourites and this group that's gone up the road.
Subscriptions
Look at
overall.
This is a breakaway. It is absolutely an enormous group. Problem is now that they're so
Tired of
close to the
subscriptions,
climbs,
subscriptions.
they're about to start that 5 kilometre long downhill, and we support that
All
sign.
right, what do we got here?
Rogla, get well soon. Poor old Primoz Roglic out of another Tour de France with injury.
And quite a few others as well with COVID and for various other reasons. The nicest of all was Emma Reinder's paternity. He's gone home for the birth of a little baby.
Yeah, well, the baby's already there.
Sean, it's been a heavy day.
It has been a heavy day, and of course, yeah, we've had abandons as well. Gaviria, Lusenko, Bennett, anybody that wasn't at their best, carrying any injury sickness. You know, this was a day where it was impossible to survive, and you've seen other riders there looking like, you know, they're not on their best day, struggling to stay in the peloton there for a while. They will be happy that this group up the road now, but will they work together? Because the huge group as well will coming to the climbs. There'll be a lot of looking who's going to do the pulling on the front.
Just
of
too
it
much
to
red
get
on
into
my
the
body.
climbs itself, and in the meantime, you know,
Red
you
hair,
have,
red beard.
have that, just
Oi, oi, oi.
unorganised. And in the peloton, we'll see when we get onto the climbs, will there be somebody who want to maybe take this one up and make it difficult? And that is possible. Some of the teams that were setting out this morning maybe to make it a difficult stage could start all over again.
You know, the breakaways, the gaps have been so modest, Robbie. They haven't been able to get any sustenance. This quartet up front haven't had their their own car to service them because the gaps have been so tight.
No, but they've never been able to settle into a semi-comfortable rhythm. They've just had to ride so hard the entire time just to avoid being caught.
I don't know if this guy's trying to race me or something.
Really painful ride for these 4 men off the front.
This is the yellow jersey group, the peloton, as detailed. 3 minutes now, and it looks like that they are as content as they possibly can be for 43 to go up the road, chasing down 4 ahead of them. So 47 in total.
Yeah, I'm usually pretty quiet. That's why I have the tour playing, just to kind of give it a little background noise.
There's been so
kind of focused on
save for the 2 main protagonists, Tadej Pogacar and Jonas Vingegaard, on offer for so many teams. Those who've had their chance and taken it can feel very, very pleased with themselves. The sprinters have done their thing, of course, keeping us royally entertained, including that intermediate sprint that William Girmay just had the edge on Jasper Philipsen to keep his lead 1 second to the better, 33 seconds in the green jersey competition. However, there are many teams who've got nothing out of this race.
Checking out the power. I understand.
Chance, but they have a massive task ahead of them
Today's
as well. And that is, they have
mostly
a whole
easy
sequence
ride,
of climbs.
so
Destination Super de Boulogne, and
I think I have some zone 2 work at the end of the week.
Ending to the day, especially the way it has been ridden. We're just about to see a recon.
It's always fun.
Of indeed our final sequence of climbs. In fact, our grand finale today from Alberto Contador, who has taken it on for our entertainment. And believe me, it looks extraordinarily tough. If you thought this was anything other than a real
this is my
test, yes,
70th
so
ride.
far, it's not been. It's been a real one for the baroudeurs.
I
it
do
seems. Well, that's about to change
no fan.
in our run for home.
Now I've been wearing a shirt.
And we will have that magnificent.
But just
run brought to you by John Harris Bass.
Putting the body through
We're about to
heat
go
training,
up
really.
the Col du Noyer, a 7.5 kilometer climb with an average gradient of 8.1%.
I can barely
the last 2 kilometers.
do
They're the
170
hardest,
watts
and they
for like
average around 10%.
a few
And
minutes.
It's in a
Now
very
I'm
open
just
area. Let's take a look at this first section, which isn't as hard and is fairly close.
So, if you ever really want to push, turn that little fan off and watch your body adapt faster than you can think. But it's pretty aggressive though, you gotta really hydrate. A lot of sodium. Otherwise you're gonna have a really bad night.
These last 2 kilometers are the toughest. If somebody wants to try
At least I
something,
do.
this would be the place to do it. With riders running out of steam, someone could pay the price here.
Yeah, if you put your body in really demanding positions, it adapts to it. And that's usually the biggest problem for cycling is overheating, high heart rate, dehydration happens faster.
This will be the biggest test of the day. Col du Noyer, with a tough ending, but it won't be the end of the stage. There is now a fast descent, which could be dangerous in certain parts, followed by the Super.
So I might sweat a little more.
Let's take a look.
But over time, my body has just adapted. So, fun fact. The longer you do it, the better it is.
We're at the start of the Super de Evolui climb. The descent wasn't too complicated. It was quite fast though. This last climb, 3.8 kilometers at a 5.9 average gradient. First kilometer is the hardest section. That's at around 8%. Well, this last climb of Super de Evolui is nothing exceptional, but be careful. Sometimes these climbs are the most dangerous when a rider loses time on these faster climbs.
So, what kind of bike do you ride?
Sometimes it's where the strongest riders can make bigger
I'm using
differences
a
with those that are having a bad day. So
spin bike.
today's a day you can't gain too
It's a
much
little
time,
unconventional.
but you could lose everything.
but it's really good for structured workouts. Kind of just ignore the hills and just stay steady.
An amazing finale to a fabulous day of racing that has been relentless since the very start.
Yeah, the red looks good.
Carrying you home will be Rob Hatch.
Such a big group to really read, and I know you guys see who's there, but for me, Van Aert's going to try and go
I almost thought I got 2 chatters for a second. I was like, wow.
when you get closer to those front 4.
I usually only get spam bots on kick.
And the Ineos Grenadiers on
Come
the
to my
radio
Discord.
talking about what
It's like,
will or
okay.
might happen. There is what
They all use the
sitting
same
full
message,
wheel.
too.
128 then between these four have managed somehow, despite all of the action behind, to hang on to what they have for now. And then 350 back to a yellow jersey group that was just changing because, yes, UAE started to ride Robbie McEwen.
They started to ride because with 43 kilometres to go, they sniff a possible stage win. Yet another one. Could have been number
Ethios
4
and a mountain bike
for
on the
Tadej
trainer.
Pogačar.
Cool.
The problem with the chasing group, behind these 4, they haven't taken any time. In fact, I think they've lost time.
Someday I
to
may get a
these
trainer,
4.
but
yes, they've taken a lot of
for
time
now
on
the
the
spin bike
peloton of
works.
the yellow jersey because they
I've been
sat
using
up.
this for almost 4 or 5 years, so
But they've still got a minute and a half to cross to get to these 4, and they're
hard to kinda
almost at the foot.
change when it's been
Well, this
so
is not a chase, is it? By Nils Pollard,
reliable.
just controlling. Tim Wellens back
Especially
to the
with
front
the
of the
maintenance.
peloton, been suffering all day. They seem content just to try and roll along like this and let the winner come out of the break.
I have a junky
That
mountain
might
bike.
be
I wish I
big
could get a
break
better
it
one.
is as well. This is the inverted commas chase.
It's like on
The
26s.
important thing now, if it is going to come out of that break,
Heavy,
that
like, tube
big breakaway is
frame.
going to ride across to our 4 in the front. It could just be a case of not always who's the best climber on paper, but who's used the least energy so far today. I'm just thinking about Richard Carapaz, how many attempts he's made to get in the break, how active he's been over the last 60 kilometres or so in a number of groups, where others have just sat, followed wheels, and then finally gone with one. And then there's 40-something of them in that breakaway. 4
Yeah,
minutes
it's better
to
than
the
just
front
leaving
to
the bike
peloton.
kinda
So over to around 2.5
out high and
between
dry.
the peloton and that big group. Still not a done deal.
Just upgraded. Very nice.
What's to come?
Congratulations.
Category 2 climb, 7 kilometres at 7%.
Good time to buy a bike.
The Category 1 climb after that, 7K at 8%. And then the 5K climb up to the finish. This could still be a GC battle with a stage win up for grabs for one of those GC favourites, because that breakaway group doesn't have enough to have any sort of confidence, and they'll stay away to the finish. With that, Rob, I'm going to clock out. It's been so active, I think I need to sit down.
See you later on, Robbie. Sean's still with me. We'll soon be joined by Larry and Danny. And yet again, we're joined at the front by Nils Pollard, one of the most active riders in this Tour de France. And Wellens up there with him. Jan Tratnik, this on the left-hand side is Remco Evenepoel. And Sean Kelly, for the first time, can have a think about what they're doing, because it's all been reactive and having to quickly make decisions so far.
Well, it was a day where you had to quickly make decisions in the earlier part, the way the racing was going on, because it was so changing all the time, groups going away and then coming back, other groups going. It was really difficult to see for the teams that wanted to control and for the yellow jersey who was going the most. But we did see that they controlled it quite well, although UAE sometimes the numbers weren't as big as we were maybe liking to see in the front of the peloton, and probably Pogačar also. But that style of racing. You know, it's not selective enough where you're going uphill, where you can keep a good team on the front and keep your men together. You know,
Yeah,
you're
here
on
comes
the
the
front,
sweating.
you get a big flush of riders. They come over you, 30 or 40 riders, then you find yourself being blocked out and difficult to move up again when you're going at that pace. So it was a complicated one. But yeah, they have survived well now.
Yeah,
And this
I
group
really
is
like
going to be
mountain biking.
interesting. One of what, 47 riders?
Should do it more
chasing
often.
the 4 riders, and nobody in the overall standing of any danger really. And I think they'll just control on the front of the peloton.
The Tour de France reaches Gap a day early. This is where we begin the stage tomorrow. And 4 riders are at the front: Benoit, Jungels, Gregoire and Court. Larry and Larry join us again. Sean's still with me. 4:20 back to the yellow jersey group. Larry, have you seen it take shape in the last half an hour or so? Because we finally do have a shape of sorts to this race.
Yeah, I mean, I think it is kind of like, well, I mean, one of the many scenarios that you could have predicted. But yeah, always a bit
Yeah,
of,
gravel's the thing to do nowadays.
It's hard to know what's going to happen after an intermediate sprint, and yeah, as we see it, it's split up, and now we have a massive group. So yeah, it makes the race exciting, but you know, I still don't know what's going to happen. You know, we still could see some racing behind from the GC guys, but
my ear fell out.
I'm guessing the winner's going to come out of this big second group.
Danny, can you shed any light?
I want my ear back.
I mean, it's been absolutely relentless today, hasn't it, from start to finish? But shedding light, I think, you know, this has been a very unpredictable tour so far. Viz Melissa Bike are in a perfect situation, you would say, having up the road, and Wout van Aert just behind in that second big group that's formed after the sprint. You could see the intent of Viz Melissa Bike trying to get Wout van Aert up there, either to be a satellite rider or for the stage himself. The stage, we heard, was the best option for them after hearing from the DS in the back of the car, but it'll be dependent on what those GC guys want behind UAE. You know, when the two men
if I
that
could
we
find
see
a
on the
nice
front of that
gravel
group,
route,
maybe when their job is done,
I would enjoy
is it going to come back together before that
giving it a go.
climb, the hardest climb of the
But
day?
my tires on my road bike are
bonus sprints on offer, but I have to agree with Larry.
not
I
ideal,
think
so
if I was a betting lady, I would put my money on that
maybe
second group on the road at
someday in the future.
Currently.
We think around 48 riders in the second group on the road.
You got a gravel race?
This is it. Just about to begin the Col Bayard, 6.8 kilometers long.
That should be exciting.
As well, really ramps up to nearly 10%, just over, very close to the top. There's Marco Haller as one of the many men in the group.
How far is the race?
Simon Yates being another. He has 3 teammates with him. Pavel Sivakov is here. A couple of Groupama riders as well. One up the road in Romain Grégoire. He's had some fantastic under-23 results since turning pro. He's the winner of Liège 2 years ago at under-23s. Turned pro last year and won 5 races in his debut season. All of them in France. Trying to stay out there today to win something at the biggest one in France or anywhere in the world, in fact. 2 riders with him. Court, who's done it before the tour on a couple of occasions. The Nud, who's looking for what will be a first bit of tour success. And Bob Jungels, who won in the Alps a couple of years ago from a breakaway now when he was at Agile.
Just 13 miles. Hey, 13 miles is
rescue their success, and there's no shortage of support.
nothing to scoff at on a bike. That sounds fun.
And now riding for a new team, of course, at the Noex. There's one for us, Danai, one for EF Education Easy Post at this race. Yellow jersey group at 4 minutes 32. Niels Pollitt having to do work yet again. Because there are 2 teammates further up the road, which will help. But the same can be said for Jonas Vingegaard, Laporte and Fanart. The thought here of what might be to come yet. Not the case, Sean Kelly, is it, where the day's crossed off, they've got all the early skirmishes out the way, and they can relax and think about what's to come, because there might be much more to come in this race. 3 climbs to the top yet.
Yes, well, I think UAE are just going to continue keeping a pace here, and we can see Pollitt is riding along at that strong pace, and this gap will grow out to the B group out in front, and of course the 4 leaders as well. So that's where the stage is going to come from. UAE, they cannot start pushing on as they get into the climbs, because if they start doing that, they'll make themselves very unpopular with a lot of the teams here. And they have men up the road, and they cannot say, okay, we didn't want the vision men up there in case that they were going to work as a satellite, because for the yellow
sounds like a good time.
he has got 2 men up there as well, in Sivakov and Soler. So
13 miles.
I think they're going to just
You're going at least a
roll
good
this
hour.
one in. But on the climbs, you could see some of the other GC men maybe giving a little test. But this gap, I think, will go out quite a bit before we get to that point. And Yeah, the interesting one is now who is going to continue riding this very big group. As we get onto the climbs, of course, it gets much easier because then on the climbs, it's not as a big advantage when you have guys sitting on the rear. But you know, on the flatter sections, that would have been a big problem. If the break got away very early, this very big 47 man,
Well,
that would have been a
just
nightmare
remember,
to get them all
race.
organised. But now it's starting to go uphill.
Don't be in the front.
Here is the proof of that. Riders up the saddle.
Stay in the wheel of somebody.
Back down to gap where a lot of the team vehicles and bosses were already
Have a lot of carbs.
placed outside the hotels where they're going to stay tonight.
You'll be all right.
Sandy Dujardin, and he's losing contact.
Does that say 60 or 80 miles? I can't see it from here. I think I'm getting blind.
Second group on the road, that is.
Looks like
So
60.
this group's about to get a bit smaller. Riders who've managed to make their way into it are losing that little bit of the wheel.
Okay.
in front.
Yes,
We
a 60 is nothing to scoff at.
We started with about 48 riders, and I think it's clear now, everybody, that we're going to have less riders at the top.
Yeah, it's going to be really attritional now. As Sean said, it's not going to be a case of those riders attacking, but the climb just meaning that the back doors will be open. And
I mean,
that's what we
60
can see
miles will
here.
take me
It'll be attritional, and the climbers will come to the fore, and that's where we'll have a really good opportunity to
3
see
hours easy.
who really does have the potential to
I know
take
people who can
the
do
main
that in
stage,
like
especially on that penultimate climb. which
2.
is the first of 3.
You know, so
that penultimate climb
it is what it is.
at 11.5 kilometers to go will really show us who's going to be in the running for the stage.
Matthews, Mereskids, Goldou, Gibbons. as
Yeah,
well.
that's pretty surprising to me to
Well,
see. I would have
you can have
thought,
fun, but I mean,
Mohoric and,
if you want to be competitive,
also, I mean, Soler.
Why
is
not?
that? I wouldn't have expected them to be getting dropped from this group right now. You know, to me they would have been.
well,
some of the
everybody just has
strongest in
different
there,
training.
So either the pace is super high.
The guy that can do it in
or,
2
I mean, I
hours
guess Soler, he could be going back to
probably
help
been working
Pogacar,
for
but yeah,
2-3
also
years.
Tejada, I think it's just this huge, super fast start is
With
taking
little
its
to
toll
no
on some
breaks.
guys, and yeah, now we're seeing the after effects.
But it's all about being consistent and
Well,
just
with LPR, and you can see
a
the
little bit
riders,
here and
you know,
there.
going out the back. They just final throw of the dice, a group.
At least that's
moving,
what I'm
a very
told.
big group of approximately 47 or 48 riders just follow. But the moment they gets into the more uphill section,
Yeah, just
no
carb
power
up.
left, tank empty.
The person who's on the front,
Says that
if
Soler's
you're ahead of everybody,
riding back on, we'll have to
you're
see.
using more power. So
Interesting
same for
radio
gravel.
communication. I was out just getting some lunch a minute ago. Gonna have
You
the
want
race
to try
in
to
my
be
ear. And we
on
heard
people's
Zach
wheel,
Dempster saying,
take the
"I
draft,
think they're seeing what we're seeing."
don't burn
I
so
was
much
wondering if
energy,
He was referring to the UAE team looking a little weaker today.
and just try to keep up.
I mean, I think it's fair to say. I think it's
But
a
I mean,
fair
if they
point
pull,
what we've seen so far. We saw Pogacar
it's your
a little bit
choice if you want to
isolated at the very start
try to
of the
keep
day
up with
the
them or not.
crosswinds.
It's only 13 miles, it'll probably go by faster
As one
than you think,
today, I would argue.
considering if you guys kind of
Yeah, I mean,
Huddle
I
up.
definitely think, like, as we saw earlier in the day, they looked a little bit disjointed, you know. Already at the start, there were the crosswinds. They weren't lined up at the front. You know,
But
they
maybe
weren't all there,
gravel's
whereas
different.
Jumbo, they were all at the front, ready to go. You know, they were prepared for today. And then, you know, there was that split there with Pogacar earlier on. For the people who didn't see, yeah, it was maybe about 30 guys with Pogacar in it, and maybe had 2 teammates where he really should have had, you know, at least 5. So yeah, I think they've kind of caught themselves out a bit today, and yeah, I wouldn't have expected that because they have an extremely strong team, probably the strongest in the race as a whole, and yeah, I'm
music.
surprised that it went like that, but yeah, well, I guess we're seeing. Yeah, this race has been crazy today, and I think we're still in to see some crazy
Uh-oh.
stuff happening.
I see another
Well,
person.
I don't think UAE any concerns at all. For me, you know, today was a day where it was always going to be difficult.
What
for
up?
any team, even you know the good strong
Damn, 2
riders,
people?
because to stay in the front.
I should say every day
when
is my
it's a
birthday.
Mishmash like that, and attacks coming back, and then more
Who's this
goal.
lucky
I've
person?
said it a few times already today. You get crowded out, and with the speed it was going, it's difficult, you know, to move up again. UAE, of
Kim?
course, when you look at that team as
What
well.
up?
Almeida, Sivakov, Soler, Yates. They do not like that sort of train at all. Visma, you look
Welcome.
at them. Benoit,
Thanks for
Jorgensen,
tuning in.
Laporte, Van Aert, Traknik. All men who can defend so well in that sort of racing. Big gear stuff.
Yeah, no.
Classic sort of men have to fight for your position.
I'm on
So
kick
it's
every now
normal
and
that
then.
Visma, I think, were more
So
in
you caught me.
control. But when we get into the more difficult part in this stage now at the end, I think, yeah, we will see that team of Pogacar.
Thanks
just
for coming to
taking
watch,
control
chat,
again, and
hang out.
I think they've got through the day very well, and Pogacar will be happy because
Can't
he
say it's anything
understands the
impressive, but
situation. The team here, it's more for the
here
big
to get a little
mountains,
birthday
the
workout
long
done.
climbs, and the terrain today wasn't suiting to them.
1:37.
Ah,
Coming down
excellent.
slightly, increased acceleration.
So I'm assuming you're another cyclist.
There's a lot of climbing to come yet. 3.5 Ks to the top of this climb, Col Bayard. Then we go to the Col de Noyer and finish up at the third category, Super Dévolu.
Kick, Twitch, YouTube right now. I do a lot of my rides, post them on YouTube just to have a little archive. But I like to do, I'm a drummer as well, so I don't know if the link's in the kick, but I have a few hobbies.
Wout van Aert.
Birthday,
But when you look at the list
yay.
of riders are there, the quality climbers, there's a lot of
Birthday and
riders to
suffering.
look at here. And if you base your stage on Van Aert, I'm not sure if he'll be up to it in this sort of terrain, because the way they have raced, the condition is in. So there's so many candidates now can go.
This
for the
ride
stage
kind of
right
flew
here
by.
in the end of this stage. You look at the better climbers here, they have the advantage. Although they have suffered as well over this flat, very aggressive racing, I think they will have advantage with this very difficult final.
3D printing? Oh,
Geraint
cool.
Thomas is having to try and close this gap. Bashir's on the back in the blue, just in front of him in the orange, white and blue, is just having a chat with Giga. That's
I've been getting into a little bit more of photography, recording. I got marched with a drum corps, so I record the parades from my perspective, so kind of just
I think
figuring
they have
that
to be
shit out.
superstars to be able to make this group today, because it's been a brutal stage so far, and
Yeah, well, Cora's getting older,
you have to have legs to be in that group, and it's only going to get harder from here.
and unfortunately, it's not easy to find replacements.
Gradient getting to its worst in the next sort of
So just
kilometre.
trying to
to 10% on this climb.
enjoy it while we had it. Yeah, no, this ride flew by.
Thomas on the left-hand side, jersey unzipped, Meinke sitting on his wheel, and now it's Almirai who
Thank
goes
you.
again. He's active here. He wants to break this.
So
group
I
up,
have
he's
all
not
this
like a
energy
lot of
still. I
riders
should
in
probably
this
do
group.
another
Larry,
ride.
He's all alone, and he doesn't have the teammates like other riders do.
2 workouts
he's
one day.
obviously feeling really good, because to be able to attack like that, it's impressive. So I mean, he's a
I will
super
be
strong
dehydrated.
guy, and if he can, just get a gap here, I think that'll be really good, because he's someone who he's a diesel and he can really motor. So I think
3D printing's fun.
these are
My
some
point
really
was
good
I was
guys.
getting
And
into
then,
like drones,
Oscar Onley for
so
me
I'm
was
seeing all
another
the
guy to look out for today,
3D
and
printed drones
I
nowadays
think,
that people make.
This could go somewhere. We'll see, but with such
It's
a
really
big group
cool what you can
behind,
kind of do.
a lot of guys with teammates, I think you'll see the teammates sort of sacrificing.
Slightly
for
jealous. I
their
wish I was kind of
maybe
more competent
leader
to
with
do
a
stuff
better
like that.
chance, and it's going to be interesting.
And what a turnabout here for Almirai. We see him out the back in the earlier part when the echelons were forming, and now he's into his terrain here, and attacking at this point out of this group. 34
Yeah, I got some stuff here, but
4 kilometers to go. This is a brave one to be the first one to hit
I
off.
probably
because
will not do 2
I
rides.
would expect some great follow here, spare energy as much as possible, and see what the other riders do, and see who's feeling good, because as we have seen already, a lot of names in this very big group in difficulty already in the very earlier slopes of this climb.
I guess what it does
Yeah, it's
do
pretty
is
gnarly
solo
what kind of
rider
stuff
without any teammates is
I've
hopefully
seen
gets
printed.
rid of,
A lot of
teammates
people
from
build
the
little
team.
shops,
So on that bit of respite
selling
between
stuff. It's
this
really
and the
cool.
next climb, he doesn't have so many riders to have to follow if there are moves in between.
Kung and Vauquelin already at the back.
I wish I did
here,
like
and
CAD
teammate who is, Raul
in like some
Garcia
stuff in school,
Just in front of him, Odd Christian Eiking, the man who led the Vuelta before.
but
in
I
a
was
red
too busy
jersey.
doing
Geraint
automotive
Thomas was at the back of that group as well.
and
this
being a
is
goon.
where it's really slowed down now. Pollitt at the front and setting that pace that shows. But for the moment, they're not interested in the stage win at all. And they're climbing one of the oldest passes in Tour de France history.
Nah, I've been learning.
Jonathan has just reminded me actually that
You're right.
Bayard
Musically, I've
was
been
the
kind
first
of
Alpine
going
pass
through
ever
my
climbed
learning
back
phase
in the
too.
Tour
So
in 1905, and it was a Frenchman, Julien Métron, who
there's
was the
just
first ever to
almost
pass it.
there's just only so
25
much
further
time to
times in
learn.
the Tour. The last time we were here was 9 years ago when Purito
And with all
Rodriguez
this like
was first over the top.
distractions
Yeah,
nowadays,
Kowski
social media,
going out the back before we get to
YouTube.
the top. Into the cars here. with
A little
the
bit.
Paul
Grew up working on cars.
Eekhoff speaking to his car
I've had the
with
same
Robert
car for
Hess,
20 years,
who
so
was a Belgian rider who came
kind of
from the
just
track. Here on the road speaking
kept up with it,
to his team
breaking it, learning how to fix it,
on your screen now.
and
Tom Brook from opening day where he helped set up Romain
done a
Bardet.
few little things, engine swap, learned all that type of stuff, but
They lose contact. It has been a brutally difficult day at the Tour de France.
realized at a young age that's very expensive to do all that stuff, so unless you got like some sort of endless flow of money, you just keep revolving around the same endless cycle of break, fix, debt, repeat. No, there's a lot of great stuff on YouTube.
Well, Tour of France, you have to be careful. It's not only the competitors that can make it difficult for you, the spectators as well. You could get
A lot of great information. You can pretty much find anything that you want.
Guillaume Martin almost got ducked it very well, and
You
at this point in the race,
you can listen to
have that
lectures and
reflex, he is
courses
good,
and
he must
learn
be
about
good
stuff.
because the way he's just moving on here, and
that
he's the man in the GC
10 years ago you have to
we see him so many times in the
either
big
go to a
tours
college to
where
listen
he's
to it
down at,
or
12 or
pay good
15
money
minutes, but
and
unfortunately he's way down in this one, 38 plus minutes, so it's going to make no inroads
So yeah,
into the
YouTube's,
GC standings, but the stage is the one which he's
starting to
weighing up at
evolve
the
into
moment,
being
and,
a
it's going to be an interesting one. Who's going to
huge
be the
source
next,
of
as you said, Rob,
information and
riders just
archiving.
scattered all over this mountain. You see the pace being set by Poverty. There's nothing, fast pace at all. But in the back of the peloton, the fatigue.
Yeah, I mean, a
of
lot of stuff that
everybody
I
as
learn
the
comes from
legs have
YouTube now.
just left them.
It's just the other bullshit that I get distracted with.
So aligned with his riding style, Guillaume Martin, is that I had one of the producers asking me earlier on today if Guillaume was French for yo-yo. Today he's going up rather than down. And here he is. Madouas is the man on his wheel. 44 seconds behind the leaders. The leaders still being Benoît, Jungles, Grégoire and Court, as they have been for a long time. But the gaps are closing now, aren't they?
A little weird thinking that.
Between those two
And
groups. Oh dear. Oh well.
40, 50 years. A lot of people who've posted on YouTube are going to be dead, so it's just a little weird to see that cycle kind of start.
Seconds to make up as Madouas is working hard. Two completely different styles there.
Yeah, there's a lot. Documentaries you can watch. There's a lot of things archived nowadays.
Kilometre to the top. By the way, Geraint Thomas dropped out of the chasing group.
Yeah, that's something that actually surprises me. For me, he would have been one of my favorites for today, but I guess the thing is we did see him quite active at the start. He was making a lot of attacks, following a lot of moves, and that really saps it out of you, and especially on a hot day like today, any extra effort, it can really, you'll have to pay it back later in the stage.
He's also been ill, hasn't he? Let's not forget he tested positive for COVID a couple of days
Yeah,
ago.
well, movies.
So he's going to be battling.
I mean, there's
with
just
that
so much
alongside
stuff
with the
that's
team. As well as riding the Giro as well, a really great
especially
performance
music
by Geraint Thomas in the
that
Giro.
just gets
So
lost
yeah,
with time.
all of that combined, I think, is why we're seeing him go out the back of this group now.
Especially when it's so popular, kind of keep
And you can hear there's no shortage of encouragement for him.
the show evolution going. That non-ending churning of shows that people
right at the back
burn
of that
through
bunch, and
and
Adam
watch.
tells
So
me he's suffering because he's on the motorbike looking closely.
there's
That
a
is
lot
Romain
of shit.
Bardet.
Yeah, it does seem, you know, Roman came into this tour obviously super hot. He got
Yeah, I mean, YouTube's like
win, the yellow jersey,
a
so
huge
cool,
source for
yeah, you know, I think you see different guys, they peak at different moments, and you know, I think his
old
peak
movies.
was really early on, and I think maybe the
There's
form is
no
starting
other
to go down a
place
bit
that you
by
can
now.
archive stuff like that
One of the riders who is doubling up Giro and Tour.
besides YouTube.
So 250 meters to the top.
Devin Nash called it a long time ago that YouTube was going to start being
driving on his
the main powerhouse for
just over half a minute now on
all
the pairing of Madouas and Martin.
everything of information.
And just under a minute on that chasing group that's been really, really whittled down. Almost halved on the way up.
So, yeah.
5 points here going to Magnus Court, but they're thinking much bigger than King of the Mountains points today.
So it pretty much seems like the cycle is you stream live
Fairly brief descent, and then they've got
on Twitch or YouTube, and then you upload to YouTube.
Hardest climb of the day.
And YouTube is just treated like a huge, massive archive now.
It's the final dishing out, actually, of
I
any
mean, I
of
got
the tour's bonus seconds.
gigs and gigs
8,
of
5
just
and
useless
2.
videos on there
Given
that
who's up the
YouTube
road,
is
they're
just
not
storing
really
for
going
me
to
for
be a
free.
factor at
So
all. I can't really remember any of the bonus points apart from the one we had on the
at
way
this
to
rate,
Lyon, really, having
plus
been
there's just
taken
so
by
many
GC
people who are
riders here.
making a good, honest living,
This is the chasing group.
putting out good content. So
New riders.
it just seems to be kind of the evolution of
There's going to be another attack over the top, this time on the left
the
hand side by
ages,
Julien Bernard. He's another rider. I've lost count of the amount of times he's putting accelerations
it's just
today.
this is the next evolution.
Yeah, he's been super aggressive to the start. I think, you know, he's been in amazing form this tour because we've seen him in so many moves. He's always aggressive, and yeah, he's been really active.
My parents got TV, that was the huge thing.
I'd say, like, right now, this is looking really good for Guillaume
For
Martin.
me, it was a computer.
Yeah, they've made really good inroads.
For the kids older than me, it was cell phones.
Yeah, you've seen this group has started to become a bit disjointed. They're not working super well together, and yeah, now it's attacking, stop.
Yeah, but everyone has
yeah,
everybody has a
that
camera.
looks really good for Martin because yeah, I think if he
There's
makes
just
it to
so
the
much
front, it's
information
probably
out there,
the
so
strongest climber up
somehow YouTube can have the storage to archive all this without asking money for it. So
It'd be huge for Cofidis as well. You know, I think
YouTube is pretty
for a
crazy.
French team to win a stage of the Tour de France is enormous. Already last year they won 2.
Yeah, I don't know how old
It was
you
the
guys
first
are,
time in a
but
really
like
long time. I think
I just turned
yeah, for the
38,
sponsor it'd be
so
enormous, so
I saw
we'll
the
see, maybe we'll
evolution
root for
of
him.
computers and then now cell phones, and
For the next few years. By the way,
now
don't let your
everybody has a
bosses hear you
camera.
talk about golf.
The cell phones have
You'll
just
never
gotten
be
so
allowed back to
good.
the
So
team meetings. But there's a little bit of criticism.
Word
in
42,
the paper
okay.
there about them actually.
Excellent.
They keep, doubling down on their criticism of the manager.
So yeah, you're not far off
Who's the usual
seeing the
spiky
evolution.
response.
All
I
right.
didn't see that.
Happy
I do
belated
need
birthday,
to,
January.
read a bit of L'Equipe more often because I feel like I keep missing all these articles. But
Well, it's sometimes a soap opera, isn't it? Not everything's right, let's be honest. But they've got to fill the column inches. And a lot of the argy-bargies sometimes a fun read. Certainly unless you're involved.
But yeah, we've seen some changes in our generation.
23. And Sean, you called it when you saw it, the tempo that was being put on.
Social
was
media
nothing
and all
more
that
just to
type of
control things.
nonsense, and
Yeah, there's no interest here in the stage win today behind them.
seeing
I
how
think,
things
when
went
you see
from
that,
you know,
huge group getting out at the front of the peloton to chase down the
sending,
four leaders that were out for a long time.
really?
It was only a matter of time that you could see, and pretty quickly
1
in
second.
time that it was just going to be controlled by UE.
The
settle
evolution
the
of
ship
like giving out
really,
like
you know, make a pace,
cards in the
and that
mail,
calms
which I'm sure
everybody. It just stops all
some
the
of you guys
riders from
still
thinking,
do,
okay, if I get
no,
out of
it's
this
gone from
peloton, I
like
might be
that
able
to
get
like
across
just
that big
saying
group and slowly
stuff
take
on
down the
social
pace,
media.
and that's what we're seeing here. 6.5 minutes back the road to the peloton now, and it's going to come out of the big group that got out of this main
We've
peloton,
seen a lot.
and the 4 men who are up the road for
We've
a
seen a
long
lot
time
change,
today.
and we
The 4 men
also,
up the road, you know, they are after putting in a big effort, so guys
we see a lot of
coming across
stuff
there,
now that we never
48,
could even
quick
think
move
about
for
seeing.
Finman. It should be the
You
one
know,
out on that,
like
but you
all
just
the
never know
video that
because,
happens in
the
different
quality
parts
you
of
have
the
there,
world.
You know, we know Magnus Coach when he gets
You know,
into
we'd
the,
have to, like,
breakaway. Bob Youngles as well. You know, a really
tune into
powerful
TV.
one.
Now we got
Benoit,
like you know,
certainly, and
hundreds
Gregoire
of different
also, you know,
angles of
real
the same
strong
thing.
rider.
It's just
So it'll be interesting to see, will the fresher legs you'd be expecting coming across, will they be the better ones?
I just
that
wish
we
I knew
will
it was
see
going
on
to be
the
this
next line?
huge. I
That's
would
where
have
the battle will
invested
be,
in like some
for
sort
this
of
stage.
an Apple or something, you know, make some fucking money. If only we. I don't know if you guys have iPhones. I do. I do Android, but you know, iPhone's so popular. People who invested in Apple, you know, their lives changed.
Leading
Meanwhile,
quartet
you
to on
know,
a very brief descent before we go to the Col de Noyer.
partially
It's
retarded
stage 17 today, and it has been absolutely
when all that
relentless.
good stuff was going on. so-
Wind, a will to win, and wacky races at the start. It was
All right, let's see what's
absolutely
going on
wild.
here.
And we have the
6,
four
6,
survivors
6
of all
for
of the
5
chaos,
seconds.
leading by
Excellent.
35 seconds. Benoit,
I don't think you guys
Youngles,
can see it.
Gregoire, and Court. Half of this quartet already have won stages at the tour.
Changes really good.
One's a debutant.
Okay,
The other's
that's
been
not
coming
very
for a
well.
while, helping mates, and he's looking for his chance.
Just
But
love
Madouas is
streaming.
behind, former French champion, French yo-yo man, philosopher, and until recently, Olympic torch carrier.
I think I missed a
Guillaume
comment.
Martin is with him as well. And here they are chasing on. 36
Bitcoins.
seconds.
Yeah, of course, Bitcoin,
Another
of course.
huge group.
Right,
Well over 30
you know,
riders.
that's the great thing
It's
about
at 1
YouTube
minute
is there's so many
13.
documentaries
And
of
a yellow
people,
jersey group. The rest of them, 6:35 with a few
hackers
small
and stuff of that
group
nature, and you just see this
Will
guy's
become
got like
rather large by the
60,000
time we get to
Bitcoin.
the
You're
next
like, okay, well,
the Col de Noyer. This is the situation. Going into the final 26
that he
kilometers.
earned,
One of those
you
days
know,
where we
illegally through
didn't quite
doing,
know
you
what to
know,
expect.
hacking
I
and
think breakaway
stealing
was
people's
probably the best bet
information,
when you
got
looked at
paid
the
in
stage,
Bitcoin, and
even
now
on
all of a
paper
sudden
going into
he's
this and to what's to come. But nobody could
billionaire.
have predicted just the level,
So yeah, missed
the
out.
intensity of everything that's happened today. We have been entertained.
You're gonna have to
already.
link me your Discord so I can
Maybe
join
there's
it.
Decisions to be made in terms of the stage win, and even maybe in this group on the next climb, they could be having a go at each
I have
other.
one. I
although
just don't
the
use
current
it. Really.
demeanour
I mean,
wouldn't
I
give us
should
a sign of
probably
that
have
just
the
yet.
link in there, but
No stress whatsoever in this race.
I do have another one actually planned for today.
Really commit at this stage of the
And it's
race
really not
to
that
that
bad.
category 1 climb to try and make that gap as big as possible to give them the chance, the shot at the
Just I have drum
opportunity
corps
for a
tonight, so
stage
probably not the
coming
best
into
thing
the
to
opening
kind of
weekend where a break has been
If I didn't have
successful
drum
enough
corps,
to
I would
take a stage
definitely just
today.
skip it.
There is a big opportunity. I think the bigger coming from that second
I'll
group,
follow
but
this
as
and
Sean said, four very, very strong riders up ahead, and with
Yeah,
full
so we got
cohesion,
more
they're
Zoom
riding
4
in that
tomorrow.
sort of time trial formation now.
Max on Thursday. This looks like fun. This is like 3 minutes.
Maintaining that high speed, and on this latter part of
3, 4 minutes.
the race, coming into that final climb is where they really need to push on.
Oh my god, there's so many people now.
We've arrived.
Why is Kick popping off and Twitch is
This is what the tour has been building up. 3 days following this.
Oh, I'm so pale.
Up and down, it's
The
mighty
white on white is just not doing it.
time trial to finish in Nice, starting in Monaco. It's for Sunday. Will the tour still be in play then? We'll have to find out. Today, there's
Shit,
the
another
obvious worrying
person. God
moment.
damn, bro.
Sean was saying that he thought that Pogacar and UAE had dealt with it
It's
well.
on your
though.
channel? Sure, sure. I'll find it.
Yes, I think considering the day it has been right from the beginning, the way the racing was going.
Yeah, you know, this
You know, they could have got
Mywhoosh
into
is so
a
weird.
panic
So, I'll
situation
turn it
and
down
having
then.
to rectify it.
But hello,
You know, they
kitten.
could have
How
burned
are
a lot
you?
of their riders and
Thank you
really
for
have to commit. They
joining.
didn't have to do that
I'm
at
assuming
all.
you're
They were just
another
following and watching what was
rider.
happening.
Oh,
Of
awesome.
course, we are watching Viz Melissa bike a bit.
Cool.
You know, how many riders
What
are
up?
moving from
Thank
there,
you.
and we have seen that in the 28
And
man
welcome. You
Group. You know,
just
the moment
came
there
in
were
time
some,
for my ride to
from
finish.
UAE, there were going to be some from Visma as well, and nothing new.
Okay, yeah, I see
It's
what's
always
going
the
on.
case in a 3-week tour. You do not allow a team that today is not a one where you can use them as much.
Good Lord.
Looking at this sort of terrain, but again, you always
So what's up?
have to have a
You
take
guys
on
are
that,
all,
and that's what we
you
see
guys,
there.
all three of you
There
ride
was going to
together.
be, an interesting final here.
Shit, well, too
because
bad I'm
this,
not a
you know,
female,
your,
otherwise I'd be
climb
like
is 7.5
trying to group up with
kilometres.
y'all.
You know, what we've had already today, the race,
guys are
there's
like
a
my
lot
zone
of
too,
fatigue
so
in
I
some
mean
of the
that's like
riders', legs, and will we see some of the men
comparable.
in the GC further down
Oh, you don't
trying
ride?
to do
Okay.
something? If there is a steady pace on the climb, that is possible. And you know, the likes of Derek
Thanks
G,
for coming and
example,
saying hi.
if he's feeling, he might see the opportunity where he could move in the GC up a bit. And there's a number of riders in that situation, so you know, I think that's where the action will come
Supporter,
out of the
huh?
main peloton of all the GC men. But I don't think we'll
You
see
got, oh, okay, so
a lot
one
from the
rider,
big fighters on
2
the top,
supporters.
Pogačar, Vingegaard and Remco
How much,
Evenepoel. I think they're waiting for the bigger
how
days
much do you
on the weekend.
I think
charge
you're right,
for
Sean.
sport?
I just saw Matej Mohoric giving some bottles to
I
Santiago
could always
Buitrago.
use like a little
And myself and Larry were having a conversation earlier
cheerleader.
as to those riders lower down the GC. His teammate Felix Gal sat in 11th on general classification.
Personal
where there will be
individual
fight to move up as high as
motivation is
possible, in these
has
remaining
its moments.
stages. And yeah, Larry, you can tell me more, but you
2
said
riders,
absolutely
Jesus
yes,
Christ.
it would be a big fight for the team to get
2
as
rolls,
high
1
up as
cup.
possible.
Yeah, I definitely think, you know, if I'm in Felix's position today and I feel good, I would probably
That's the
try
first thing that
something
went to
I'd
my
probably
mind
make a
when I
move
read that.
because, I mean, we just see today, it's just this race is
Good
taking
Lord.
its toll on guys. You know, I think it's the heat, it's the hills, it's the super long battle for the breakaway. It's, you know, these guys who are in the break.
Yeah, let's see. Let me.
You would have expected to be potentially favorites for the stage. They're just exploding and getting dropped off of a big group. So that means there are guys in the bunch who are on.
Oh
they're on
no,
their
I
knees
lost the
and they're
chat.
just trying to make it to the finish line. So yeah, I would try to exploit that and see if some of the guys.
It's telling me to log in.
Yeah,
Oh my lord.
9th, 8th, 7th position. Maybe they could be hurting too, and yeah, see if I could crack one of them. So
How do I
that's what
even
would be
actually
looking
go
to do, but
back?
We'll see. You know, you never know. You
No, that's
also
not the
don't
button.
want to sort of upset the big teams that
let's
might
try
be
this.
controlling the whole day. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens, but I think we're in for a really good battle.
Larry, you're being too nice there. Upset the big teams. I'm not worried about them. If you have a team who is fighting for the GC and you want to get into the the 5 or 6 in the overall standings today, and you're sitting down there in 8th or 9th place.
So I
don't
lost
think
y'all, but here you are. Okay.
it'll worry a lot
No,
of
yeah,
teams
let
the
me.
way they're racing now, and they don't, respect for the big teams. There's not an awful lot of that either, from what I understand.
Seriously, if you
But
could
you're
like.
managing the peloton at present,
It's
and we
it's
did
so
hear
funny
from
because
some
like
of the
Twitch
riders already in this tour and all during the
is
year as
so
well.
boring, but you
know,
guys
the
are like
respect for
popping
the
off on
big
kick,
riders
so it's
that
just kind of.
are, leading the
kinda
race,
funny.
the yellow jersey, the riders who have a big palmarès. They don't
I
seem
don't
to give
literally
anything
expect
to
anybody
back
on
the younger
kick to
riders,
ever
even the
really
older riders
watch
that have been
any
in
of
there for a
those.
while.
So
That respect seems to be
let
totally gone.
alone Twitch.
Yeah, that's
So
probably true. I
thank
mean,
you.
I'd say it's
You guys are
about 50-50,
awesome.
you know. I think Pogačar, Vingegaard,
It's
they
so
still have a
brutal to
ton
be
of respect,
streaming.
And, yeah, people aren't going to
2
sort of mess
riders,
with
1
them,
supporter.
but I do think it's not like it used to be before where, these riders
Wait, so
could
you
sort of
guys are on
just,
Trainer Road or
call
what?
all the shots in the peloton. So, yeah, it's not like that, but there still
All
is
you
a level
guys
of
are on
respect
Trainer
for those
Road?
guys,
All 2 of you?
And yeah, but I do think you're right. I don't think
Yeah, I mean,
they
try
should be
to
too
get on
concerned with
kick
what the
and
other
I'm gonna
guys
follow
are
you so I
thinking.
don't
And yeah, if they have the
lose
legs
any of this
intact,
fun shit.
it's true.
We're not too far away from finding out if that's
let's
going to be
go
the case.
to.
Not too far away from the front group of mobiles right now. 20 seconds, they could just see them up
That's
the road
not the
before
right
they went
one.
around the corner there. We're going to say goodbye to Danny and Larry are on their way up into the breakaway.
Okay, and you're on Mywhoosh?
He's going to stay
Word.
with me and give us all of his expertise.
Welcome
as
to
we
the
go to the
club.
And on that one, Rob, it will be interesting
There's
to
not
see
many of us
men
around.
in the GC standings that are in that top 10.
Let's see,
and
did I get any
from,
challenges or anything
Landon
good this
down,
week
for
or what?
example, have anybody got the legs after the day we've had? That is the
No.
question, and that's what we'll decide.
I'm standing here at the top of Col de Noyer with 11.5 kilometers to go. And let me talk you through the climb. It is very, very steep, as you can see in the road book. Crowds
Kick,
are
kick, kick,
amazing.
kick,
We
kick,
have
kick,
all
kick, kick,
nations
kick. Oh, here we
represented
go.
here.
I'm
We
actually
have
logged in.
Costa Rica, Vietnam,
16
even
followers.
Greenland
God damn, I
are
got
represented
4
here
followers
today's
today on fucking
climb.
Kick.
Another thing, and another
On Twitch,
interesting
it's
and
literally a
crucial
ghost
part
town.
of this climb is that
Like,
it's
I don't-
super narrow. It's around 3 meters at places where it's only going to be
I don't
able
comprehend,
to be 2
you
riders
know.
next
All right,
to
let me
each
go to
other.
chat.
And
Let me
with
see
that
if it logs
knowledge,
you guys.
we have
Woo,
to
it does.
cross our fingers that we don't have
Okay,
any
so I'll follow.
mechanicals for some of the riders in the front, because
You're
it's
now
going to be
following.
very, very hard to get help from the sports directors, from the race cars behind, because of the narrow roads. This point here, Col de Noyer, we have to remember bonus sprint.
Oh shit, you're
bonus
attractive.
seconds, 8, 5, and 3 seconds.
mind
And
me.
if you take a look down here, we also have couples just after. Little classic, and correct
Only
myself,
tease.
is 8,
You
5, and
frickin'.
2 seconds.
You
on the
would.
top here.
Cool. All right, awesome.
Well, thankfully, it doesn't look quite as cobbly as the older Quadamont, but
Nice.
fascinating stuff. Up
Train
there
like a
from
cyclist,
Hannes
via
Milker.
2
Thanks, Hannes.
max.
Great atmosphere
2
as well.
hours, 2
Super
hours.
atmosphere before we
Nice.
even
Yeah,
get there.
you're in the saddle for a while.
Rob,
Awesome.
Does Hannes work for the council? He always
Cool.
seems to be looking at the surface of the roads.
I don't know if I'm logged in Discord.
He definitely gives us a good detail of the surface every day, the sprints and on the climbs, but very important. And yeah, the cobblestones, I don't think they will make too
I
much
did. I
of
just
a
checked it
difference to
out. I
anybody,
subscribed,
because you
so
all
I'm
have to
not
ride
gonna miss
over them.
that. I'm just
The
trying to
narrow
catch
roads, of
her.
course, that is the danger one. It's
Yeah,
always
no,
a
I'm gonna check it
concern with
out.
team cars
The
and
your ride from before.
again,
Why not?
you know, when you're in a GC situation, that's
I
not
just
what you want in
followed,
a
so-
final. If you have really technical, narrow roads, you have a mechanical problem, the car have difficulty getting to you,
But yeah,
it's the last thing you need.
Looking better and better for Martin.
How many people you got in your
Madouas.
Discord?
And the question is, how much have they given on the way?
235. Nice.
Climb itself starts with just over 18 kilometers to go. Doesn't mean they haven't been climbing already. Classified section. is
Yeah, got a
approaching
nice
for
little
this lot.
community going on there.
They're about to
235
go inside
beeps.
20
That's
Ks
awesome.
to go.
Now, did you guys all meet through like streaming or what?
Trying to get to the bar before it closes. Hand up. Hot day and not too much of an opportunity to feed, to drink. Just 11 seconds behind now for Madouas and for Martin.
Cool.
Rest of the group getting closer as well, 43 seconds. I hear that Geraint Thomas is back and is working as hard as possible for Laurens de Plus behind.
All right, let's see what we got
And I
going
think we're
on
about to
here.
go into the bunch now.
You're all
See
green
exactly how
screened up.
Adam Bly
Okay.
sees things.
Cool.
So I am just behind
I like the green
group
screen,
with
that's
Geraint
cool.
Thomas in. He's on the front now. and he's
2
working
years
hard.
you
He
guys
was
have been,
dropped
and you
from
guys
the
are,
previous climb, and
you've
he's come back to the
obviously,
front, and I think that he's working for his teammate,
you're getting
Laurens de Plus. Let's not
subscriptions
forget
and stuff,
Laurens
so you
de
guys
Plus.
are
He helped G in the
must be
Giro a
doing
couple
pretty
of years
decent,
ago.
right?
He's training him, so I think he's
making
trying to
something
repay
off
that
of it?
favour. De Plus already bringing in one breakaway, already where it went close to the finish a few days to go. But this group, if you look at it, the team that's are in there, the teams that are in there, there's a couple of riders that have that help from a teammate that can help. up
Okay,
the
so
pace
you're
from
just you're
narrow
the
road
you're the
right now.
supporter,
So
so that's
just
great.
keeping that tempo up, being
But that's
able to
good.
keep
I
that
mean, you
group
know,
within
you've
touching distance for this next
from your
climb coming
perspective,
up.
you've seen
I
the
think
kind of
likes of
change and
Richard
evolve over
Carapaz,
time.
he's done a
So,
lot already,
and your
but
support
he
means
has
a
done
lot too.
nothing
Trust me,
in this
because
group
even
so
just
far.
having one
He's
person
been
come in and
super
kind
calm,
of
sitting in the whole time.
break
He's
the
been
break the
getting gels,
monotony
the
of
team cars being backwards and forwards. So is the
just
other team
silence,
cars,
really.
but there's a lot of riders being able to benefit from sitting in this group.
I
while
like
the other
the
teams
I like
within
the
this
setup you
group
got going
doing
on here with the
work.
green
This is going to
screen.
be
That's
a
cool.
fascinating final, and there is a big tight corner
You
coming
got a
up.
pink bike,
So I'm going
so
to
that's
say, back to you,
cool.
commentators. I need to concentrate.
Hold on tight, Adam.
Yeah, you know, I always damn technology, but you know, it has its pros. Where I've always
Up here we
said if
go.
you're trying
And
to
on to the final
build,
climb.
you
There you go.
build what you reap, really. So I
Led
mean,
by
if you
Bob
want to build a
Jungels.
good community,
7 Ks to the top. This is the Col de Noyer. We saw from Alberto Sean, it looks a beast, and they might have company here. There are 2 really good climbers on the way. It makes it very, very much more interesting.
the internet's a
An extra
little
ingredient
the
added.
internet's a little
This one, this is
intimidating,
going to
man.
be the one where we'll see who's going to win this stage, as we see the 2 chasers here joining up. But back to that group of chasers, Geraint Thomas pushing
Target
on.
200
There's a
watts.
lot
I mean,
of
you're
very
pumping out
talented
200
drivers here,
watts for no
and
problem.
in
You
very
got
good shape, 7.5
what,
kilometer
100
can do
and
enough.
your heart rate's not bad at all.
In that group behind, you've got the likes of Balde, Carapaz, Mass as
Nice.
well. the Plus, who we saw being worked for, and we're now seeing Simon
And then I
Yates
see some
not
sort
wasting any more
of
time, going off in search of his own success.
some
Valdez trying to follow. The
slidable
Plus is
pole.
there.
I see.
The pink
Just
jersey of the Olympic champion Richard Carapaz. Don't forget about the likes of Stevie
and
Williams.
also
Jack
equal
Hagan, while Pauls
workout.
are in there. Sean was talking them up. They
Like,
are
if I
an
tried to lift
all-star
myself up, I'd
cast.
probably
36
fucking
seconds
just
to eat up, but we know Sean
fall
that if
apart trying to
Simon
do
Yates
that.
is in anything like the form he can be in, he can make very short work of that.
Well,
Yes, he
variety is
can.
the
If
spice
he
of
is,
life. Like
on
I've
his,
been.
good day, well then this is a perfect situation for him because 38 seconds.
I like
with
shooters,
this,
you know. I
train
like
coming up,
first-person
as I said.
shooters, and you know,
7.5
Marvel Rivals
kilometers,
came
the
out, and
gradient.
you
At
know,
this point
what,
in the race,
almost 2 months
what they
ago,
have
and
been
there was a
through already
huge,
today,
you know, popularity
you know,
about
there's
it.
a lot of riders going to suffer big time,
You
as
know, and
can
I
see
went
Geraint
like,
Thomas
you know, 100
already,
hours
you know,
maybe
done his
in like
job there and,
3
started to
weeks
slip
or
out the
so.
window.
So yeah, not too
Yates
bad.
then just 17 seconds already to
But
the
I
front.
just felt like
He's
I
got
was
away
like
through half of that gap in a click of a finger.
consumed, and I needed a break. So
Hardest gradients on this climb come towards the very
now
top.
I try to,
We
you
know that
know.
there are 8, 5, and 2 bonus
I think that's
seconds
actually what
available.
kind of
That's
started the
nothing more than
rides. Really, was
housekeeping
trying
now,
to break the
because the riders
monotony and
up
try
there
to get back
involved
to.
are not involved in the GC. They are searching for nothing more.
I like the background you got
Very
going
nice
on there.
and a stage win.
Very
That was
elaborate.
Laporte going back
Good
further
lighting.
from the
Looks like you
pursuers group.
use a pretty decent
And this is
camera.
Yates going further
I don't know if you
forward
got
from being
DSLR
chased
set up or
immediately
what,
now
but you definitely
by
got good
Richard
lighting, so
Carapaz.
you can see.
So that might have been the rider on his wheel in the shape of possibly Stevie Williams.
Recruited me for the tournament
sitting
next
in
month.
here.
What tournament
Plus
is
there
this?
as well.
DSLR? Okay, awesome.
Pavel Sivakov was the other rider.
I have a
Look
deal.
how
I tried
quickly he's
using my
bridged across
DSLR,
here.
but
That
you
is
know, it's just a
frighteningly
Canon
good from
T6
Simon
Rebel,
Yates.
so it's ultimately a piece of shit.
And it is
And
Carapaz,
it's just,
it is Williams. They're all looking good.
it must be the
Sean, I'm
lighting.
glad you
I
mentioned the
might just
talent
need
behind
it to be
because we
lighter
should not have been
or
forgetting
brighter
about
for it to really
No, when we see that 40
not look like
seconds
it has kind of like
approximately
a
with the group behind and
a
very
lag,
big
especially
group
when
as
you're
well.
like
So,
rotating
you
your
know, you
legs.
didn't have to
If you
contribute
don't have
like the
like good
four out
lighting,
in
it just
front
looks
who've
like
been,
it's
you know,
just
pushing it
chopping
all
up.
day. The two who
Rivals
came across
tournament
there,
next month.
just recently, Valentin
Really?
Madouas and Guillaume Martin, they came out late as well. They had a bit of a more of a ride to get across, but you see on the uphill,
I
Yates,
haven't
you know, he
played
just,
in about
flicks the
a
switch
week
and,
and a
off he
half,
goes
2
and he
weeks.
gets across so quickly, and then we see,
And I
can see,
feel fantastic.
Carapaz, Williams, all of those guys. You know, if you have the energy left and you're feeling okay, well then this climb is the place where you can do a lot of
I like your
damage.
setups. You're very
Yeah.
detailed.
We will see pretty
Obviously,
quickly now as we get into the real difficult
no
path,
comparison
5.7
into mine.
kilometers on this
But you
climb,
got a
and
nice
Yates, he just
little.
goes through them and rides on.
And your tone is shit too. I'm just
Two-stage
watching
wins
some
already in
clip.
his
You're
career
ripped.
in the Tour de France. They all came
You do
5
like
years ago, believe it or not.
Ironmans or anything
He's won
interesting?
a Gran Tour at the Vuelta. He's been on the podium at the Giro d'Italia.
Marathon
Might be hours away
runs?
from winning at the Giro. He's
You got a
reached
lot of
these
shit on
guys in
here.
front of him. He's gone
It must
past
be
them.
worth it.
And
Kick
Adam
must be
Yates
giving you at least some
behind
sort of
watching
money.
on. Simon Yates here at the front. Looks like he's a man on a mission.
Did I follow or subscribe? What is this? Oh, okay. So subscription is actually the subscription.
J.K. Lula
Partially
having run a
retarded,
stage
sorry.
with Groenewegen. This is Simon Yates territory, isn't it?
You guys are
Steep
new to it,
gradients,
and you
narrow
guys.
roads, the ability to dance away from fellow
Wait,
tired
hold on a
riders.
minute. So you're new to
Doing
Rivals,
just that.
and you signed up for a tournament. You guys trying to like get like?
And this is what's left of the group
Are you
that
guys
dominated
supports?
for so long.
Let me guess. You're supports. You
Out
got to be
behind,
supports.
Valde there. 203 is Eiking, who's been hanging on. Now there's another move, having reached that group
I know,
from Richard Carapaz.
but
Williams tried to go
with
away. And
my-
look at this. All of those riders who were in charge for so long, Sean,
my
are already no longer a factor.
experience with Overwatch
Yes, well, the four out in front, that was
brought
always,
back, I think, a little bit
a
of
big ask. Will they be
post-traumatic
able to
stress
hold on this
of
final climb, because the effort they've put in here, and we can see
how
it's really
toxic
catching
not
them,
only
and it's the riders,
players
you know,
can
that little bit
be,
of freshness coming across,
or
but also,
it also
you know, the
has
great climbers we're
toxic
seeing here.
that I
All
can
of
get.
those guys, the three riders we have, you know, this man leading here, the
I
two
totally
chasers,
forgot about how
all
toxic I can
brilliant
get.
climbers, and we're
Holy
in
shit.
that terrain now where it does, you know, suit those guys.
Definitely a little.
Martin, who tried to get across
It's
for
like
so
going
long.
back to like
Loses
Vietnam or
contact,
something,
John
getting a
Walls as
little.
well. Benota's trying to chase with Colt. and doing most of the chasing
Go
there.
away. Post-traumatic stress. Because I used to play a lot of Overwatch, so Overwatch is obviously no different. So this will be a newbie tournament. Oh, okay, well if you are doing a newbie tournament, then look no further, because
and Carapaz again, what a fighter.
Pretty much
Williams, though, keep your eye on him. He's following
I'm
beautifully.
well, I was a Bucky player, and then I switched to Namor. So.
Massive step forward at the start of the Tour Down Under.
But I mean, I was doing Namor, Bucky, mostly DPS. Widow at the very, very start, just to figure out the game. Then I moved on to like some other, but mostly it's like been. I think Bucky is like my second most, and then the more I started to play a lot towards the end.
Continue on setting this real strong pace,
and then they introduced
closing in on him.
Invisible Woman, and I kind of stopped playing after like a few days.
Stevie Williams is doing, you know, the right thing here.
Play Widow as your main. Man, you must love
looks like they
torture.
are going to close in. We'll have a 3-man group out front.
If you hit your shots, you're all right, but still you gotta get lucky with
able to come
some
across, because if you have
backup.
got the energy, you
If you
see
hit
the riders
somebody,
that are getting out of
otherwise
that
you're
group,
just
you
you
have
gotta
to
rely
react
on
very
getting at
quickly.
least
You
2
cannot allow them
hits.
to take that
One
10
of
or
them has to
15
be a
seconds.
headshot.
The
So
talented climbers are up the road now, and it looks
That's
like that is
fun.
where the win of the stage is going to come from. And
I get way too
yeah, it's
competitive.
an interesting one as we go into the final. Stevie Williams, of course, he has a very good kick on as
So
well
that
in the
sounds fun.
finish. But Carapaz and Yates also, you know, quite good. And you know, the uphill finish here as well. It all depends on how much energy you have
I'm
left
usually
in the tank
I'm a
at the
flex
end of the
player,
day.
so I can play anybody
Top of this
really.
climb at 4 kilometers from where they are right now.
Tank,
It's 4
no big deal.
seconds for Simon
Usually, I was doing
Yates,
a lot
being
of
chased
group.
down in the pink jersey by Richard
Let's
Carapaz,
see.
the Ecuadorian.
Thor got buffed, so I was having
Williams from
fun with
Wales in
Thor.
the blue and white, chasing
Hulk,
down
not really too
the boy
much,
from
but
Bury.
Penny, I was having a
Simon
lot of
Yates
fun with
from
Penny.
Lancashire,
So,
Northwest England.
and then for support, usually
To seeing sailing away whilst dancing away.
I was playing Rocket.
Behind you
Rocket's
can
pretty
just see
fun.
two as now Carapaz turns it on again.
Mantis is pretty
and
cool.
Williams this time can't hack it. Another development in a race that does just not stop.
Loki, I like Loki. So
Well,
I got like
this man Richard Carapaz, you know what?
I got a clip on Twitch of me.
10 days he's had, or
Loki
9 days,
until,
whatever
like,
it is. We've
Jeff,
seen him so much in
until, like,
this second
5
week of the race,
gobble,
although you know
and
he had a
then
great
threw him
start
off
to
the
the
map.
tour.
So I mean, like,
but
Jeff's
I don't
fun
think he was at his
too,
best,
but,
because the way he's
you know, it's all
riding
about how you play it.
into
I mean,
this race,
so
I
I'm
think he's
kinda-
getting better as the race go on.
I'm
and
a little bit everywhere.
EF Education, you know what a battle they have been putting
But
up
see,
to
like,
try
I get
and
very
make
kind
it
of
into
sucked into the
breakaways,
game, so
which they have done many days, but not the one that survived to the end. I was given enough time to go to the end. Now he can
I think
see
it's a great game. I think
this
it's
is
fun.
a great opportunity. The stage
I
is out there in
think
front.
Overwatch. I miss
he's,
Overwatch.
really pushing it on to Yota Drop.
I miss a little
Stevie
bit of
Williams,
the.
that tells you how hard
I miss
he's
how the
going,
game
but
runs.
yeah,
Really,
the day as well.
that's like
It's
the
all
best thing
about,
about
you know,
Overwatch is
being
that it
able
just
to
really
survive
runs
through a day
excellent.
like this. At this point in a race, the day
so,
they've had, you know, it's just a real
Overwatch.
The real talented riders come to the top.
Brute force.
I want to say
Just the
hopefully it doesn't go
road riders
anywhere,
out over the
but
last
I
few
mean,
days.
I don't know.
Carapaz being the main leader.
Player drop. Hey,
Once
let me
again,
know.
it has
I'm
been
around.
swashbuckling
I'm not far.
from their Olympic champion. Just the way he
But yeah,
rides.
I've had a little
He's a great
experience
rider
on
to watch, and you can tell he throws everything.
on
Heart,
Marvel.
soul,
It's fun.
energy
It's
into the
fun.
bike.
But the performance issues on
Aggression with
Marvel
which he's
is
riding
like
across to Yates here.
really
Something
the
to
frustrating part.
Down to 4 seconds.
So
Yates is still going. It's a great move when he went. There's a look here about Carapaz. He's centered. He's on a mission. And it looks like nothing or nobody was going to get in his way.
I grew up playing shooters,
This
so
will be an interesting one to see what the reaction
I
will
grew up
Yates do
playing.
now
God, I
and
remember getting my
Carapaz,
first computer
as he
and
comes
playing
across,
Counter-Strike
just have to, you know,
1.6 to
take
pretty
a
much
little bit of recovery. Hopefully
dawn,
Carapaz will
and then
take it
trying
over
to get
Yates,
like
try and cling
an
onto
hour
the
or two
wheel,
of
but
sleep and
I
go to
don't think it's
school
going to
and
be as simple as that. This man
complete
is
that
going to try and
cycle.
attack
So
again before we get over this 3.2 kilometers to the top.
shooters are always kind of like
Carapaz at the front with Simon Yates. Stevie Williams at
where my heart
28
always kind of
seconds. Just to think,
And then now you got
few
like
seconds ago,
VR
was
shooters, which
Carapaz.
is
Enric Mas at 41 and the peloton
future,
down
so-
at the lower slopes of this climb at 8 minutes.
I
3
got a little bit
seconds.
of expertise
Sure
in
our
shooting
directors
people,
will show us if there is
just in
any
case I
action in that yellow
need
jersey
those
group.
skills someday in life.
The Plus leading this group, and this is the group that they're calling the
Hopefully
Mas
not.
group. Oscar Onley's
I
in their
like
third
my
wheel. White jersey is being worn by Pavel Sivakov.
innocence.
Look at Wout van Aert, a little further back. Tish Benoot still here.
Women are like, you know, women wonder why men are so
Madouas
kind of like simple.
Yes, we can see that group of Mas and
I can imagine, you
the
know,
man from
years
India's,
prior, men
launched
were
the
just
Plus.
out, you know, playing
Let's
war
hope
and
that
shooting
he
people.
didn't listen
So
to his director sportif
really
and
not that
watch
complicated.
Wout van Aert too much and allow the ones that we have
If
up
I don't
the
have to
road
go to
because
war
it
with
looks
anybody,
like the stage is slipping
life's
away,
pretty easy.
and yeah, he's doing a good
Go to
job
work.
here to be able to set the pace on the
Make
front
some
here,
money.
launch the Plus. Looks like he is
Try
still
not to get in
okay,
trouble.
but unfortunately there's too much power out in front.
Gruppetto time. Finian Girmay, Sean Quinn.
Yeah, I mean, things, you know, when
Groenewegen there,
civilizations
world
are
champions here as
actually
well, Honderful.
able to evolve
They
with
worked hard.
time
Mohoric, Costa.
and not have to worry about fighting their neighbors like you see some, you know, countries, you know, on the other side of the world. You know,
That's how hard the day's been. He's in the Gruppetto. In this group, there is no
some guys
sign
are
of
lazy,
anything
some
doing
guys are motivated, you know.
It's a smaller group, certainly, than what
War
it was.
back in the day would have weeded out that
Still,
whole kind
pace
of
being set and nothing doing.
that process naturally. So this is the accumulation of
Reminder they are
years
8.5
and years
minutes
of
behind the lead of the race. That's still 2.5 Ks from the top.
quiet in the country. We do have it really good, really. We really do.
You wonder whether there's the will to do anything. Indeed, if there is.
What's that?
Not
You
sure
got?
that's the
What'd you
legs.
say? You got a?
Well, that is the legs are the ones. If you haven't got the
Ah,
legs, well,
he's a
then,
skilled
the win is
1.6
there,
player
but,
too,
Yeah,
huh?
it's early on the climb
Oh,
for
his
this
first
group
birthday's
of
today.
yellow jersey. If you're
Well, happy
thinking going
birthday to
into
that
the
young
attack, I think
gentleman.
it's that final, 2
A lot of
kilometers.
good
give it
birthdays
a
around
good
this
attack
time,
and see
January,
what the reaction
February.
will
So
be, see who will respond and get onto the descent. So yeah, there is time for this group. But
interesting.
after such a difficult stage, have
Let's see
anybody
what's
got
going
the
on over
energy
here.
In that group of yellow
I
jerseys?
yeah,
or the big
me.
players
I
to
don't.
try
I
something?
didn't. I came
Yates
down with
and
like
Carapaz.
anxiety in my mid-20s. So like when Fortnite came out,
Coming to the
it
hardest
started with
section
World of
of the climb
Warcraft.
now. The last
So
2 Ks
like
where the gradient is consistently
I
above
was just
10%.
taking things way too serious. It was like life or death type of thing, and
Way down the climb.
I wasn't really able to enjoy gaming for a few years actually.
Hard tour debut for him.
I would like sit down and like instantly kind of start shaking with like envisioning what was going to happen.
Just gone through
So
that 2 Ks to go back.
a lot of competitiveness, shooters especially,
Here's Carapaz.
took a backseat to that. When Fortnite came out, I was like a nervous wreck because I'm like looking around everywhere, thinking someone's following me or some shit trying to kill me.
You hear the cheering.
And like
Simon Yates corner, I think there. The flags were out.
for some reason, my body wanted to be like life or death with it. So it's just strange how your mind works.
As the gradient does now go over 10%, but not for long. Because this is Carapaz. That was
Good
his
thing
move.
I didn't go to war
and
because
space
obviously
opens
I
up.
would have
The
broke.
question now, Sean, is can Simon Yates react?
Yes, we will see now pretty quickly. But we did see Simon Yates. He took to the front there.
Oh,
but
all right,
sometimes
now
you
what?
do that, bluff a little bit and not give the other rider the idea that you're starting to suffer when you're sitting on his wheel. But we
3
can see
people, 4
Yates
people.
is
I
just
think
fighting
actually
here
one
to
person
hold
on
him.
Twitch. What up,
1.7
Twitch?
to the top here.
One
Carapaz
viewer. How are
digging
you?
deep, and it's just
3
growing
people
out
watching.
ever
It's
so
almost
slowly.
like I don't want to turn off the
No
stream.
complete crack
Took
from
for-
Simon Yates.
Yeah, I
There
mean it
is
was a lot
gap.
of work. It was.
It's still just about opening. But that
There was
elastic has
obviously
not snapped
a lot
yet.
of
Another acceleration though as
underlying
Carapaz tries to do that. 40% gradient
things
here.
lingering, not
This
just
is the plus,
you know
and he's
that
seen
type of
those he was
anxieties,
with
which
go ahead
kind
of
of
him. There's only masses further up the road. It looks as though there's
I guess
another
what
rider up
just
there as well.
multiplied into what it manifested into what
That's
it was.
52
So
seconds here.
you know if you want to
He's he's going to need a miracle if he gets anywhere near the front. Because
If you want to
Carapaz
address it, you got to go to the
has made a
cause.
move,
So it took
and
time
there's
to kind
also
of
a
realize the
move in
cause and
GC.
then
It's come from
go
Giulio
from there
Ciccone,
and then figure it
who's
out.
being
and-
helped here by Carlos
So yeah,
Verona.
but it's not easy. I can see
Ciccone
where
for Lidl-Trek started at
if you
8th
can't
place.
figure it out, if
There's
you're working all the
immediate
time,
reaction
if your
from Israel Premier
home
Tech,
life
of
is
course,
bad or you don't have the
Derek
best
G,
place you're living
who's in
in,
ninth
it's hard to
place.
get out of the rut. So I was lucky enough to
Gal is there now.
be out of the
Problem
rut for the
is,
time
if
being
they
and
all
hopefully
react, Sean, it draws everybody
stay
else
out of
behind
it.
them, and everybody has to get
But
involved.
been good, been
Well,
pretty good.
when somebody just puts in that attack there,
Your mind
further
is
down the
crazy. Your
GC,
mind can take you to
and then there's
very
reaction
interesting
from
places.
The guys just up in front, also the guys
Yeah,
that
let me
maybe
know about
behind
this
that
little
guy
Marvel thing.
who, like if Ciccone, for
double
example,
check to make sure I'm in your
Derek G,
Discord.
Gal,
I
all of
believe
those
I
guys
am.
are thinking now as we get into the end of this Tour de France, and it opens up that can of worms.
PC setup. What do you got going on here,
Other
huh?
riders will maybe think, I can have a go here and I'll attack over the top.
990 Pro. Okay, yeah, okay. So you like what, white? This is a white type of theme you got going on here.
The battle continues between Richard Carapaz, the Olympic champion,
Battery
former
backup.
Giro winner,
2 battery
and the former
backups.
Vuelta winner,
Okay.
Simon Yates. Yates
Cat
is the only one
6.
of the two
Very
who has
detailed.
a win at the Tour on stages. He has 2. Carapaz has tried for a while. The best he's ever had is a second place. He wants this to be the day
Cool.
where he
Yeah, that's a
wins
nice
at all 3 Grand
CPU.
Tours.
You
He's
got
got
14.
12 seconds,
Oh, okay.
and Yates isn't completely receding.
Nice.
Mass has got
Okay.
to within 33
Nice little setup you got
seconds
there.
now.
I was gonna
Is
say you
there
got a
real
nice
challenge here?
little
Well, this is an interesting one because
streaming
you know,
setup
he has set
with
leading into the
the-
advantage, and
seems like
the
you
two
have
out
what
front,
two,
like,
two,
they are
3
giving it
rooms
their all.
dedicated
Carapaz
just to
is fighting to try
streaming,
and hold
which
Yates
is
off because he knows if he gets over the top with a number of seconds,
I would
the
imagine
descent he can
very
really make a
nice
good descent. He's a great descender, but Mass
because
is
you can be like in a
slowly
different
also
place and
pulling back
then
here.
go back to
Problem
like your
is
home
on the
life
descent,
and then
who's going
kind
to be
of
the
go back
faster
to
one,
work
but
and then.
yeah, we can see inside the final kilometre, and this has taken forever to get to the top of this climb.
All right, let's
You
see.
know,
Discord.
It's just a real killer, and even watching at it, it's just painful. You can imagine how
How long
difficult
did
is
it
for the riders.
take to get
Painful, but from where we're sat, where
approved
they're standing,
on Kick for? I don't know if it's
An
what an
open,
affiliate.
natural
It's the
stadium.
same thing as
The best
Twitch, right?
athletes in the world.
Affiliate.
The Olympic champion,
Done
2
reading.
Grand Tour
Yes.
winners are fighting it out on a stage of the Tour de France that has not stopped all day.
Okay.
700 meters to the
Okay.
top for Carapaz. 16
Just
seconds
looking at some
over Simon
pictures you
Yates,
guys got here.
who's showing no sign of giving up. Enric Mas at 32 seconds. And a yellow jersey group.
Kimmer,
racing for
okay, I see Kimmer
skirmishes
now.
At 9 minutes.
Kimmer, you got a nice setup with the Elgato. Is that like an Elgato?
And listen to the noise. The decibels
2
are going to
Elgatos.
rise.
Xbox One controller X. Nice full size.
What a sight.
Damn, you
What
guys are
a
like
sight. All the colour
hooked up,
of the
huh?
Tour de France in the high mountains on a beautiful day.
$75. Okay, it's 5 hours of odds to be an affiliate. Okay, that makes sense. It's definitely less. It's not. It's lenient, more lenient than Twitch. Twitch is very aggressive, which is why I just been crossed.
Another corner turned.
You just got affiliate? Oh,
10 more
congratulations.
mountain points.
Okay.
But he wants that full Grand Tour
Twitch is very
stage winning
aggressive
trilogy.
if you even want to get
Of course,
affiliate,
he's
let
won
alone
at the Giro
partner.
a few times on the way to winning the race
So
itself.
I just been
He's turned up at the Vuelta,
posting on
not in the
Kick just
GC,
cause.
having ripped it up.
You guys got
here-
killer setups. What the fuck?
Even Santa's here.
Your
All
guys'
of his
setups
Christmases
like
have
are
come
better
at
than
once in the
mine.
middle of July.
Well, it's
You
looking
enjoy
like
Kick?
that,
That's good.
It's going to be
Amazon
a
deserves
really good
some
one for,
competition,
Carapaz
whether
here.
or not it's really
17
competition
seconds,
or not.
16
but-
seconds back to Simon Yates
Well, even
here.
with Kimmer is like
Mass 36 seconds. You know, we're going to have the descent of what, about 7 kilometres, then the final run up to the line, a number of kilometres. So he's in a real strong position
5
here
hours
to
of
try
odds.
and take this stage win. And yeah, you have to get down to the descent as well, because 7 kilometres, we're hearing it is a narrow road, and the fight is on. They're going to take risk here as Yates come to the top. What is going to be
I'm looking
16
at your
seconds.
pizza that you posted the other day,
14
Kimmer.
seconds.
Don't
Cameron.
count out Simon Yates just yet. There's more road to ride. And there's a final climb.
No, you guys.
Just over 3 kilometers to the finish too.
I'm just looking at Kimmeren's like her Elgato setup behind her.
Which is very much the terrain for both Yates and Carapaz.
I think I need to upgrade all my shit.
3 or 4 seconds further back now.
I will be on anymore. Usually I turn on the kick. Usually. Just cause.
No longer holding on in this group to help Derek G, so he's alone. And you have.
And like I said, I usually only get spam bots that are like posting the same shit. So there is no contract, so it's really smart for anybody really to do it. So like I said, lady, I think you said you're on YouTube, Kick, Twitch, whatever. There's no reason not to do it. So.
And this is where he really excels.
Their support is really fast and will help you out. Okay. I mean, I'll keep it up. Like I said, I'm just gonna keep up.
Continuing on his mission
what I do.
To win a Tour de France stage.
Face cam. 2 Elgatos. Yeah, I saw the Elgatos. One original. Okay. C922. Okay, so you got the 22. I got the C920.
It has been a really hard day just to be where they are.
Is that one? Oh no, this one's my phone. So this is my Pixel. And then
18 seconds.
This is my C920, which I think is a little darker because I usually drop down the exposure because it.
He's a really good descender, but sometimes riders when they can see
usually looks a little washed out, and then this is like a super ghetto. Like I think this is a C270
on the downhill and pull something out of the bag.
So
and Simon Yates definitely have to do something here because his 16, 17 seconds at the moment.
I think it's like 720p, but
the final 10 kilometers and that
it works. Whatever.
To the finish here.
This Pixel 9 Pro at the moment.
Climb they've just come over. Carapaz was the strongest, so it's going to be the same on the final.
I just wanted to switch it up a little bit. You know, they're not the best. You know, like obviously lighting the whole 9 yards. You know, whatever. But I just wanted to break the monotony. You know.
He's looking.
I had it down next to like my crotch kind of area, and my buddy was like, "Well, that's an interesting angle." I was like,
on the descent, though, still 18, 19
"Yeah,
seconds.
I mean nobody watches, so I didn't really think of it like that." But when I look back, I was like, "Yeah, maybe I should kind of raise it up a little bit." But yeah, I think just to break the monotony, I kind of just added some old school. The Pixel 9 Pro is a pretty good phone. I just use it as a webcam just because it's just so easy to kind of add it on. But
really hard, and then suddenly. As we can see,
you don't like Logitech cam at all?
Here at this late moment,
it's colors.
It's,
that's why. Do you feel like it's like oversaturated or like the white balance is off or something? Because I'm always in the settings, adjusting either the exposure or the white balance is off. Or let's do this. Let's see how fast I can get banned.
20 seconds to Yates. At the top of the climb, it was 13 seconds to
if I
Simon
leave this
Yates.
up for like a few minutes, YouTube will be like,
so it looks like Carapaz
what are you watching? I'm like, I don't know. That's why I have to do this. Wait.
He's on the wheel here and being looked after by Wilco Kelderman. And looking up ahead, you look to see Jonas Vingegaard, who is isolated without a teammate in the group.
Wait, did it work?
Almeida's going to ride away. Pogacar lets the wheel go.
Alright, hold on.
Evenepoel, Vingegaard fill that gap.
Okay, let's go here.
Landa's still here. Gal is there. Ciccone.
Okay, that's not working.
Rodriguez.
Okay. How did I just...
Buitrago. And at the back of the group,
oh my
Adam
God.
Yates. A reminder that there are riders.
Lady, thank you for chatting. I really appreciate it, and it's nice to meet you as well. I mean, let's just say I didn't expect to meet such a awesome community. So, we'll see. Maybe we'll do some marbles. Maybe we'll just play for bullshit if you guys want. Maybe sometime. I think if I reverse the screen, I think all right. So I'll just leave it like this. But thanks for posting me on your Discord and giving me a little exposure. Both of you, well, all three of you. Looks like your friend, I forgot her name, but you guys really helped make my birthday a little special. So thank you to both of you, and I'm gonna have to keep my eyes peeled for when you guys are. See, Kim, I'll subscribe to you as well, Kim. So let me see.
Joe Almeida, they're just continuing on to set a good pace, but nothing real serious at all, and that's what they've got to do here, because with the advantage
somewhere around here
have over the rest of his challengers, and here we go.
Attacks himself.
Yeah, no, thank you, both of you. Yeah, but thanks for a little exposure, sharing, and making my birthday special. So yeah. But I'll be on tomorrow, so guys, keep eyes peeled. Like I said, if I'm not on Kick, I'm on Twitch. So I'm not, for
I wasn't expecting an attack from Pogacar at all, because it looked like that. Everybody was pretty happy enough in the
trying to
GC
do a little
standings at the top of the
ecosystem with
rankings, and we can
YouTube
see
and
here,
trying to kind of build a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and trying to do something. So you can even find me on YouTube too. So
this is a one where
and see some parades and all that fun shit. But yes. Yeah, no, you made my birthday is usually quiet, so you guys definitely made it a little special today. So I'm just gonna have to pretend my birthday's every day at this rate. Wow.
Before we even get to the high Alps, when we were thinking that it was going to be Visma that would take it to
Go eat, get ready for practice.
Tactically brilliant in seeing that.
Keep your eyes peeled because I might do some drumming. I should have done like a little diddle doodle, but I am what's the word? Shy. So
Sean is not in the shot here.
No, we could see there, he was in difficulty very, very quickly.
Oh, that's right, the horse stable. I saw that. Yeah, that's awesome. Working with horses, riding horses is a great workout. So you definitely got some strong fucking legs, that's for sure. So
just continuing on to
that's awesome.
Usual here.
And mine, yeah, I try to keep it all the same. So like my drumming YouTube is Mr. Crowley Drumming. Cycling is Mr. Crowley Cycling, and like my driving and racing is Mr. Crowley Racing. So trying to keep it kind of the same thing, but
I was not expecting this at all. With the advantage he's got over, the challenge.
Not like it's anything special, but just trying to kind of think about it and try to be conscious about maybe doing something. But
we know that now. 8 minutes down.
Yes, no. Keep your eyes peeled, and maybe I'll catch you again. I'll keep peeled for your stream, even though I don't really watch Kick too much, but I'll have to set notifications.
People wonder, why do you get satellite riders up the road? And if it's not to go and attack, it's to help fight fires like this.
I'll turn on notifications so I can see when you're on.
15 seconds to bring back for Jonas Vingegaard. They're catching Evenepoel just in front of them. This is Pogacar. He's finding some friends on the descent. Zimmerman is one of them.
I can share my. I'll share my drumming page because that's like my most popular.
And that exactly is where Richard Carapaz finds himself right now. We wait to get the latest check on the gap. All the way back to
I don't even know how to share it.
Rival, who is Simon Yates. It was at around 20 seconds. And it still looks like it should be something similar, if not more, because Yates is now approaching that same 3Ks to go barrier. And we're hearing that Enrique
word?
is on his
Thanks,
way
Kim.
to Yates.
I just got the notification. Let's see.
It's looking good, though, for Carapaz, isn't it?
Yes, when you look out in front, you know, this straight section, and you cannot see the rider you're chasing.
Switch
well,
accounts.
you know, it is really a difficult
Okay,
one.
so you found the
and,
drumming page. Cool.
When you're trying
Yeah, I mean, right now it's just some drum corps stuff and just some stuff for the people and just some little things to kind of give the corps a little exposure and
going to be pretty much not impossible. But you have to keep trying in case something up front, as we mentioned.
Just something for them because, you know, they've been doing it for 20, 30 years, so
it looks like Carapaz should
memories.
be able to go all the way and take stage win.
Still 13 seconds for Pogacar over Evenepoel. Further back, Laporte.
You're going to share them in Discord too?
There's a look back from Pogacar.
Damn. If you'd like, sure. Like I said, I'm usually very introverted, so...
And these three now will work together. It's in Evenepoel's interests as well.
Yes, well, this is going to be an interesting one now as we go into the final here. It's you know, these three, we can see they have.
But I do have a passion for drumming. It's been something.
Look over his shoulder. He can see Remco Evenepoel in that time trial position, and it's all going to come back together.
There hasn't one left, so.
Despite the surprise attack, the fire is about to be extinguished.
So I'm trying to kind of.
And the final run to the line. This is where, you know, Pogacar, he has seen that Vigengo is struggling a bit, and this uphill finish is going to be an opportunity. We know the way Taddy can finish that explosive in the final kilometre, 1,500 metres. So I'd not be surprised, as he has tried already, he could go for it again.
Continuation of what we saw in the Pyrenees. And this now is changing very much in favour of Carapaz. He's eking out the seconds with the pedal strokes. He's allowing himself a semi-smile. He's under 2Ks to go, and he has a lead of almost 40 seconds. This is the evidence of what we're telling you about. And Brigmas is working his way back to Yates, but he's still 10 seconds off the back. And Pogacar in yellow, in the lead of a Grand Tour for the 55th day in his career today. Amazingly, the 34th this year.
We all share our passions here. Yeah, I mean, that's... It's hard. It's hard trying to find a place where you can be yourself and not get too much criticism, at least negative criticism. Thank you. I appreciate that. I don't really...
As we joked with Larry yesterday about all the stats, that's where they're coming from. Now then. Remco Evenepoel.
Yeah, I like to whatchamacallit. Kind of like to just
gonna try, they're just gonna move.
I don't know.
Pogacar there, Sean, just thinking back to what he did.
Nothing that I really expect, you know.
Isolated, we'll try and see what happens.
I don't expect anybody ever to come in here and be kind of like, oh, well, we know we help. So it's just a little different.
Christophe Laporte, and he was, you know, a great ally there to get him across on that section where it was false flat. And if you
so it's definitely something I'll be thinking about a little bit, that's for sure.
A lot, and it did help a lot, but yeah, this just shows that you know, Pogacar will gain more confidence again, that he has the upper hand on the man who is fighting here.
Well, I mean, bigger, smaller, it is what it is, you know. We're all different, so finding a community that is acceptance, you know, it's just. But you know, no matter where you go, you're always gonna get some sort of criticism.
Education Easy Post have just gone for it every single day. They've been knocking at the door.
So it's something to just be, you know, aware of and just kind of push through. Because I mean, we all getting judged by looks is pretty much like the first first thing people judge by. So it's difficult. And Twitch can be a little, I don't know, I guess it depends on where you go, but Twitch can be a little hostile, so. If kick's been good to you, that's good. Because
No rival is in sight, and this is one of the wins of his life. He's a Grand Tour winner.
there should always
and
be
he's
more
bringing the
places
Olympic
for
rings
people to kind of
France
go
9
to
days
and
early. The reigning champion in the Olympic road
not be
race.
judged by
Won't be
the
defended this
simple,
year,
stupid things
but
in
he has
life,
come to
and
France. He's gonna make more history for
kind
his
of be
nation, and he is going to
more
be
judged by
the Tour
character
de
and
France stage winner.
who you are.
The latest superstar to complete the set from Giro to Vuelta and now to Tour. Richard Carapaz.
Uh-oh, Kitten's back. What up?
Devilry, supercharged, full of superstars.
Wow, I am super white.
Richard Carapaz at the top today and winning after a breathless, furious, wild.
I swear my
wacky
exposure
race
is like literally
as
down to
he just
nothing,
about
but
every single thing possible happened.
yeah, I mean, keep your head up, Kim.
The Tour
It's,
de
you know,
France at its very best. Carapaz winning.
people
Silent
suck,
hits to be
and
applauded for his efforts to. Second place to the British rider.
we all have opinions and views and perspectives that are different,
Take
so
no for an answer. That is classy from Carapaz.
sometimes we get caught up in a lot of that type of stuff and comparing and thinking about what somebody else thinks.
Behind has shown that this is not over
So,
today. He wants to take time. He's got a lot to take back if he's
Connecticut.
to Vingegaard. Of course, Evenepoel started the day at 5:19. 2:10 behind Vingegaard.
What the hell were you doing? So,
But Evenepoel wants to make sure as far as the podium is concerned, Sean.
I think Evenepoel, he feels that if I can see an opportunity, he's going to try and.
oh, that's good. If
and, you know, we can see down on the climb there, the other guys are looking at each other.
if Lady's stream is
Evenepoel, he has a big
helping,
advantage
you
when
know, there's no problem. There's nothing wrong with that ever.
quite a bit less, so not surprising that it's Vingegaard who's having to set the pace here. Because let's not forget the final time trial. We know this man, his time trials powers here, and you know he's just.
New Hampshire, word? Oh, okay, so you're definitely. I do some rides up in like middle, like mid New York, sometimes in Mass. Nothing really up in New Hampshire, but what were you doing? You were doing. The OCC. What the hell is the OCC? Orange County Choppers.
And you just know what's coming. But Vingegaard has found his own ally. And this is where we talk about the fascinating scenario of riders.
It's the only thing I can think of OCC.
People often wonder. They say we talk about it too much sometimes, Sean. Yes, certain riders up the road, but we're seeing why now. Sivakov coming back to help out Pogacar, not that he needs it, but what for not is.
Let me go to kick really quick. Let's see. Let's go to this.
Well, it is, you know, working real good for the teams here today. Notably,
There's some good early season races down in my area. No shit, really?
and also
I'd-
for his Melissa bike, which Wout van Aert being there, it's vital here. Because
Operational Compliance Committee. All right, well, I was close.
here for the man in the white jersey, very important, and also for Vingegaard to limit the loss he's going to have to the man from Soudal Quickstep up the road. So teammates are vital important here.
No, you know, pop on in again, Kim. We're this should be a good place for you to pop in. You know, hopefully as I evolve, the stream kind of evolves too. So, finance industry, go figure. Yeah, but finance, you're working with money, so at least you're making money. So that's not a bad thing. Take care, Kim. Hopefully we see you again shortly. Thanks for the birthday wish. You guys all made it very special. So, okay, so I see what's going on here. You ride on Zwift. Cool. Were you riding with? You guys like co-stream or something?
Yes, it is going to be an interesting one.
Yeah. Yeah, Kitten, do you co-stream?
Out in that big
with Lady? Because I saw you in her stream, right?
Up to those guys now to take the guys, you know, as far as possible. As you can see, Wout van Aert, Tish Benoot here, looking like it's
Zwift or Mywhoosh? Okay. But I saw you on Lady's stream, so I didn't know if you were like living in the same house, or if you were co-streaming, or...
But yeah, we can see just a time trial all the way for the guys who are fighting for the podium places in this tour. In the meantime, the yellow jerseys get an easy ride.
Okay, so you got some Zwift and stuff going on.
Going to have to be super careful because Pogacar, he just
I do miss Swift, man. But I mean,
the final couple of 100 meters. So if Vingegaard capable of matching it if he does kick off.
I'm stubborn about their whatchamacallit. Co-stream. Okay, that's what I thought. That's cool. I was wondering what was going on. Do you guys like do the same rides or the same workouts, or? That's pretty cool. Your Mywhoosh is where it's at. I mean, I miss, you know, the Swift community rides, the Swift events. You know, the tour of Watopia, the tour of Swift. You know, the simple stuff like that. I kind of miss that type of stuff. 'Cause, you know, in some of the races and stuff, but I didn't do any of the racing before the racing score changes. So, like, you know, I went from D to C, and I was competitive with C for a little bit, for like half the race, maybe 3/4, but there was just the last bit that I wasn't like kind of up to snuff a bit, so it was just always the same revolution of struggle. But I think with the racing score, I would imagine it's probably a lot of a better experience. So.
To allow this man to get any advantage at all, so that tells, as we have seen from Vingegaard on the penultimate climb there, he was starting to suffer. This man is going to, you know, take a bit of time from it. It'll be interesting to see how Vingegaard can finish over the final couple of 100 meters.
My God, why is everything so tiny font? Let's see.
Right now, we knew there would be a fight for the stage once that breakaway went.
I gotta move
this. What we didn't know is if there would be action behind. It was sleepy, siesta-like on the way up that penultimate climb, but then suddenly Pogacar woke them up. Evenepoel reacted the best, and he's the man who's going to take time here on second place, Vingegaard. We've already seen Richard Carapaz become the 110th man to join the Grand Tour Stage Winners Club, and this is what we thought would happen. Pogacar has jumped Vingegaard, and he's now having to look after himself.
You said she's stronger than you right now?
Vingegaard probably lose a second or two there.
So she must be on a... Why is this not going back? So she must have been going... she must have been going steady now then. Okay, so... Okay, it doesn't go back that far. So she's building, getting stronger, and I'm still in pace. Well,
Just over 300 meters to go, and Sean, you said he always had it coming. Just about managed to gap Vingegaard, I think, there.
Yes, he did. He gapped him, but
I don't even know where I'm at right now. I think I'm kind of close to
lost to Remco Evenepoel. That's where he will be concerned. And
almost peak
maybe 12 seconds.
where I've been. I peak and then I kind of fall off for a little bit, and then I peak and then I fall off. So like I'm kind of at the peak, so I'm trying to stay motivated, consistent, motivated. She puts in the work. Oh, I'm gonna have to go back and check it out. But you both stream. You stream. Do I race IRL? No, I just kind of started. I started mountain biking during the pandemic, and then I swapped to Swift shortly after. So I've been on and off. I just do structured workouts for my workouts, and then I just do casual rides out and about. But I've never actually tried to race, so I am more a sprinter than a climber. Strong power, but because of my weight, I'm a little bit more like a bowling ball.
Exhaustion at the end of the stage. Effort like no other that is being put in by these riders.
Have you been cycling for a while? I see your wattage. Your heart rate's pretty low though, so I feel like
Get cold here. You promised that you would try, and so you've tried.
yeah, no, nothing in real life. Just casual rides. No group rides really. I mean, I'll do group rides like events, charity rides and stuff like that. But no real attempt at racing. I don't know how I would do.
It was good.
I mean, I would like to give it a go. I think I would be pretty decent. I think I have actually a pretty good frame and base. With a little bit of zone 2 working and then a little bit more of like VO2 max. I mean, I think I'm training at 240 right now, but I feel like my FTP is probably closer to 280, 290. It depends. Depends on the day. But generally, I think my FTP is a little bit higher than I think. So, but I'm 200 pounds right now, but I'm usually fluctuate between 195. I was 195 for a while, and then all of a sudden I got to 200. So I don't know if that's muscle or I'm just getting fat. But my FTP's gone up, my heart rate's gone down. So I think I'm in a pretty decent position right now. But I think because of my weight, I'm just at a severe disadvantage. So, and it's not like that I'm like overweight. It's just my frame. I'm a little bit more muscle, the top end. Not really too much of a little belly, but big legs. Decent chest type area, so you know it's hard to give up that frame. I don't want to give up that frame, so that's my disadvantage is really the weight. You know, the amount of power that I'd have to put out compared to somebody who's even 20, 30, 40 pounds lighter. I don't know how I would compete. But I think I'd probably do better than I think, so. But no experience. Nope. I've just kind of started this around the pandemic and then kind of evolved over time to where I'm at now. Which I think I'm actually... people tell me that I'm stronger than I think, or that I'm stronger than I realize, and I'm just like, woo. So... Sometimes we don't know our own strengths, so. But weight is definitely. I mean, really, a lot of it is, you know, how you feel yourself, how you take care of yourself, how your nutrition is, how long the race is, are you eating, you know, are you hydrating, are you intaking sodium, are you doing these type of things? Or are you just trying to power through and that type of stuff? So, seems like a lot of racing has evolved to super high carb intakes, sodium, sugar. So, I mean, seems like it's kind of changing a little bit.
Yeah, I think they're going to be really, really proud of me, and I'm delighted to represent my country and do this well.
Hop Brook. I don't know why chat is not updating, so. Hop Brook.
Where he came alongside Simon Yates, and my goodness, that must have been a dismal sight for Simon Yates.
Naugatuck? Is that what you're talking about? Naugatuck?
Team Giro d'Italia when Richard Carapaz won his first ever stage on a grand tour into Montevergine di Marsi.
Alright, yeah, well, they have something on Bike Reg, so it seems like. Okay, this is a past event. Okay, so Middlebury. Okay, Middlebury. Okay, so they have. The only problem that I have with a lot of these rides is that they're just fucking expensive. Like, if you want to do like a lot of these, not only do you need the time, you need to like perfect timing if you're working, but you need the money, and these add up pretty quick. So canceled. That's 2022. I don't know. I don't think they have the race anymore. I don't see 2020. I don't see anything on it. So
I don't really know what to say. Just pretty empty right now.
As a team, collectively, with Romain, with Warren, you tried.
Yeah, it was really special to have those two working for me. Obviously, they're really big champions. And,
I mean, it's not cheap. Like, don't get me wrong. If you got
myself, so I have to really
maybe some sponsorship or something, I don't know. Maybe you have a group thing. Maybe you have. Maybe you're raising enough money. Maybe you have people who are, I don't know. But over race weekend, especially if you're traveling, if you have to stay overnight, you're paying for that, paying for food, which more than likely bring in food at that rate. But yeah, it's not cheap.
Well, Richard Carapaz becomes the first Ecuadorian to ever win a stage of.
Yeah, I've actually. I'll go to one ride in Mayopac, New York, and then I'll do. They have a tour of Litchfield Hills and Torrington, which isn't really I mean, it is kind of a race, but you know, it's a community ride. But you know, you can do 50, 70, 100 miles if you want, and I think there is a trophy for first group to finish. So sounds like it's competitive. But I just do that for shits and giggles. A lot of the problem that I used to have is that I used to have insomnia. So the medication that I was using, and I still do temporarily, well, if it lingers in my system, so saying as, let's say I have a somewhat bad night, and I take a little bit too much medication, if I take a little too much medication, it obviously lingers in the system. And if I do anything in the morning, my heart rate is just. So a lot of, like the past year, like 2 years ago, sometimes last year too, a lot of that was kind of happening. So I'm trying to get away from a lot of that. It was super frustrating. Like I was training, riding, and then just had a bad night the night before. Didn't have enough water, wasn't hydrated enough, and take too much medication. And the next thing you know, I just wake up with like, you know, I start walking and my heart rate's in like the 140s. You know, that's not even like getting on the bike. Next thing you know, I'm like 180, just like, you know, pedaling along somebody. So, I'm getting around to some better stuff, but I've kind of struggled here and there with little things. Streaming tomorrow. Let me follow you actually, because I'm gonna actually have to go in like a minute or two, because I gotta get some food. And let me follow you really quick. Wait, I am following you. Am I following you?
Let's go and.
I think I'm following you, so I'll keep my eyes peeled. if you stream tomorrow.
Fight for the breakaway.
Oh, it was, yeah, very hard day.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna definitely
First half,
scout around on Discord, peek around, see what's going on, and
big roads, not that many like
try to find a place in there, you know.
Yeah, to make the breakaway.
But it seems like she's doing well for herself. She's got a nice little community going. Discord seems to be doing pretty well. Her stream looks great. Looks better than mine. Looks better than yours. It's so hard getting like the finite details like cleared out when you're streaming. Technical difficulties is such a pain in the ass to deal with. So
distance. I mean, you need to hope now, and yeah, but when they came up,
2-hour endurance ride. All right, cool. So you're gonna be riding like 120 watts or so. I mean, I have no problem putting you up and just letting the stream go. So if I get the notification, consider me there. You know. Chatting, making my birthday special. We'll check you another time. Everybody, peace. I gotta go eat. I didn't realize how we'll leave it for another day. All right, everyone. Deuces.